Good morning, I'm Ryan Baker. The Columbus Blue Jackets losing streak sits at 4 games after they lost to the Ottawa Senators 6-3 and nationwide. Elvis Merzlikins was pulled after allowing 3 goals on the first 5 shots he faced. Dmitry Voronkov, Dante Fabro, and Boone Jenner all scored for the Jackets. Jenner was playing his first game after missing the previous 15 with an upper body injury. The Ohio State women's basketball team improved to 8-1, beating Northern Kentucky 94-62. Jelani Cambridge led the way with 33. Thursday night football, the Atlanta Falcons overcame a 14-point deficit in the fourth quarter for the first time since 1993 to beat the Tampa Bay Bucks 29-28. Former Michigan coach Sherrone Moore remains in custody awaiting arraignment on assault charges this morning. For every $50 you spend in Roosters gift cards this holiday season, you'll receive a $10 Roosters bonus buck at Roosters locations or roosterswings.com.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
Talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lesmerises joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Barry here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only 2 guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a Friday edition of the program. Bo and the boys. Bake is here. Tim May is here.
I'm here, baby.
Oh, he is here, baby. That's exactly right. Hey, we got a fun little show for you today, kids. We got Julian Sayin coming up at 10:30. He is in New York for the Heisman Trophy ceremony, which will take place tomorrow. He is one of the finalists. And, of course, Doug Lesmerises joining us at 11:30. One of the themes of this show and of the sport that you and I and Bake love so much, Tim, is, of course, college football and all the machinations of it. And as fun as all of the stuff is on the field, it can be equally as frustrating off of it, with the relentless greed and the double talk that happens from the College Football Playoff Committee, the inconsistencies of all of it, the absurdity of these conferences that we continue to cover, the idea that Stanford and Cal are in the ACC and somehow Oregon, Washington, USC, and UCLA are in the Big Ten, and yet they don't even play each other all the time. The calendar's a mess, recruiting's a mess, NIL's a mess, the coaching searches are a complete mess. None of it makes much sense, and yet somehow it's the number 2 most popular sport in the country because the product and the passion is pretty tough to beat. But if you're tired of all of that stuff off the field, then I encourage you tomorrow at 3 o'clock to turn on Channel 10 here locally and watch Army-Navy. They're going to do battle for the 126th time, the cadets and the midshipmen. The fight will be to sing second because the winner gets to sing second. Mm-hmm. The pageantry around it, the innocence of all of it, it's pretty tough to beat. It gets me every year, Tim. I won't say that that's the way that it's always been. As a kid, I kind of dreaded it because the football was something that was not aesthetically pleasing in most years because they play a certain way. But I love it now. And I love the pageantry. I love what they've done with the uniforms and the tributes that they pay to past sections of the Navy or the Army. I just think it's about as good as it's going to get. What is your relationship with Army-Navy, my friend?
I've always been on my bucket list. Always wanted to go to it. Have still not gone to it. That was one of the things when I retired after the 2018 Ohio State season. The last game I covered for the Columbus Dispatch was the Rose Bowl, and I said, I'm free, man. I'm going to go to all these games everywhere. So number one, the bucket list still hangs out there. Still got another shot at it, but not tomorrow. I'll be in here tomorrow doing a show, but fill-in duty, as they call it. But no, dude, I go all the way back to the Roger Staubach days and stuff. I mean, that's how much of Army-Navy game I've got in my head, at least, of being aware of it and how cool it was, right? And back when Navy played I think Navy ended up playing in the Cotton Bowl that year or one year. But the point is, I mean, yeah, it's special because you're talking to a guy who – early in his life, I wanted to go to the Air Force Academy. I mean, I wanted to be a fighter pilot and all that kind of baloney. And I was told in ninth grade that they don't take people with corrected vision. This was back in late 1960s, and so I kind of funked out there for a while, And my dream, I was not going to be Chuck Yeager, I'm going to be Jimmy Yeager or something. But anyway, I've always thought the service academies were so cool because you had to get in. You couldn't just go and enroll. You had to get a senator or somebody or a House of Representative guy or somebody to sponsor you, and they only took so many guys every year, and so it's a special class to begin with. But with David Robinson, for example, we know there aren't total restrictions on it because he's not going to be. He wasn't going to be serving on any submarine.
No,
so they do make dispensations for athletes, but those guys still have obligations. After they stay in 2 years, then they're set. They have to. Now they've relaxed it a little bit, I think, for guys who get drafted maybe in the NFL and stuff. I mean, there are all these kind of like little different things they didn't have back then. Remember, Roger Staubach had to wait to go to the NFL for 5 years.
So did David Robinson.
Exactly. So, but that's what. But it's still. These guys are still regimented. They get up the same time every morning. Have to do everything everybody else is doing. Also, they have to get ready to play a big time football. And in this case, one of the two greatest rivalries in sport, in my opinion, are Ohio State, Michigan, and Army Navy. You can say Auburn, Alabama, knowing my background, but they didn't even play for many years because they hated each other so much. But yeah, the thing you understand is these guys are playing football, and then on top of that, I remember when Ohio State played Navy in 2014 in Baltimore. Those guys were just different, man. When you talked to them, when you hung around them, that little quarterback that Ohio State had so much trouble with. I mean, I stood next to him. I could have dunked on him all day, Bo, in my brain, but he was a tremendous athlete. So most of these guys playing for these institutions are really good athletes. They just aren't, 5-star.
Yeah, and Blake Horvath from Hilliard.
Oh, absolutely,
quarterback
man.
This one, and has had one of the most decorated careers. Blake, what's your relationship with Army Navy?
I've always loved that it's the only show in town that day.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. It's the last regular season college football game of the year, and it stands alone. And I've always loved that it's different in the fact that the football is different. You don't see it all the time. And it's one of the fun things I always think when Ohio State has played Navy the couple times they have in my lifetime is that adjustment that Ohio State has to make early on, because you don't see that type of football. You may see it in high school, but these guys that were at Ohio State, they haven't seen that kind of football in a long time. So I love to see the adjustment that they have to make as the game goes on. And Ohio State is obviously, when they've played them, a team with more talent, and that wins, and the games aren't usually close. But that adjustment is there, and I love to see that with these. I love to see that old school throwback running the football type game. The other thing that I love, and I feel like Ohio State, Michigan has lost it here recently a little bit, is the respect. It's such a hard-hitting football game, and they both want to win at all costs more than any other game on their schedule. But at the end, there is that respect that I feel like we've kind of lost here in the last decade or two with the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry. It's almost like it's the purest form of sport.
Yeah, I'm for that. I think that's a pretty good summation. And yeah, to your point on the respect, they always want to sing second because the winning team stands next to the losing team as they sing first. Right. And the losing team has to go to the other end and stand in front of the cadets or the midshipmen and sing second. So through just absurd circumstances, I became friends with Thomas Modley, who was the undersecretary of the Navy and then was the interim secretary of the Navy 4 or 5 years ago. And Tim, one of my great regrets is he invited me to go.
Oh, no.
And I didn't. And I thought, well, There will be another time to be able to go to this.
Yeah.
And then there isn't. And it's a lesson that in life, when opportunity presents, you have to take that opportunity. In 2014, when they played over there, I went to Annapolis. This past summer, the boys were playing lacrosse in Maryland, and I called up Tom, and I said, boy, I'd love to do, I'd love to show the boys the academy. And he called up to your point, Tim, he gets one a year.
Yeah.
One recommendation a year. And it was a kid from Shaker Heights up in the Cleveland area. And he said, yeah, I'll have the kid that I sponsored give you the tour.
Wow.
And so we went to Annapolis, and he gave us the tour of the Naval Academy. And I know that you did that in 2014, too. And maybe I've not been to West Point. I've heard West Point is right
I've
there.
never been to West Point. Nope.
Me either. It's a shame.
But
Heard it's right there, maybe even better. But I just remember walking the grounds and being in awe of the quality of human who was there.
Yeah, but you can
thinking this feels like everything that you would aspire to be in life, in sport, all of it. And the last thing I'll say, I remember this in 2014. I remember walking out and doing the Naval Academy tour, and the admiral who was the boss of the Naval Academy at that time, he has a parking spot that's reserved that was right across kind of the street. It was the first parking spot, and he was driving like a 63 Jaguar. And I just thought to myself, that's exactly what I want the admiral of the Naval Academy to be driving.
And it wasn't Ted Carter's car, was it? I mean,
that's right.
Yeah, but no, real quick. Number one, you can feel the other people who've been there before when you walk that campus. That's what's weird. Okay, is you can feel. Well, I want to call them ghosts, but you can feel the presence because of the commitment that's involved there. By the way, I heard Jeff Monken, the Army coach, interviewed this week, and he goes. And he was asked whether, after it's all over, y'all all, go arm in arm and, basically go kumbaya. Mm-hmm. And he basically shut that down. He said, no, this is a rivalry like any big-time rivalry.
Yep.
We respect each other, but we really don't like each other, meaning they both want to win in the worst way, and which is interesting, because Army Navy, have been competing ever since there were budgets, right?
Yes.
For no, we'll run the Air Force. No, we're going to start a whole thing called the Air Force. So
right.
The rivalry there goes much deeper than football or basketball.
Yeah, I remember lamenting from folks on the naval side of it. And I have a bunch of family in the Navy, so that I always pull Navy a little bit, much to the great, Quiz, of course, from Ohio State. His son is at West Point, and but I always pull Navy. But I remember various folks that I know who were in various positions in the Navy saying that West Point Navy may win on the football field in recent years. They've won more than not, but that Army wins what matters most, and that's at the Pentagon.
Exactly.
They win most there. They're a little more organized.
Hey, one rifle, one soldier, one rifle. You know what I mean? Hey, it is pretty cool. By the way, Navy, though, with Blake Horvath and, their current administration, so to speak, I mean, it's an exciting kind of game to watch. And people, they beat Oklahoma in the bowl game last year. Yep. I mean, this is a nice outfit. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely, that it is. From one of the purest form of the sport to an absolute mess. The latest up at Michigan. What is next in Ann Arbor? We'll get to that coming up next. We're off and running on a Friday. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Credit challenges? We got solutions. At Capital Florida, Columbus, and Whitehall, all credit types are welcome. Good, fair, poor, or none. Get approved fast and cruise away happy. Stop in or visit us online at CapitalFloridaColumbus.com.
Toyota-thon is on. Get in the spirit of the season with a new Toyota. Now through January 5th, get $3,000 customer cash on remaining new 25 Tundras. Or get 0.99 APR financing plus $1,000 TFS APR cash. With approved credit through TFS, excludes TRD Pro. APR cash must be applied to deal. And every new Toyota comes with 2 years no-cost maintenance. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At CARE, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. CARE Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
Dread the cold, frosty winter weather? You don't have to with a remote car starter from Columbus Car Audio and Accessories. Warm up this winter by pushing a button and stop scraping frosty windows and sitting in a freezing car every day. Get yourself the latest remote start and step into a toasty and defrosted car this year. Plus, remote starts make amazing gifts for everyone on your shopping list. Beat winter weather by installing a remote car starter from Columbus Car Audio and Accessories. Morse Road near Easton, Main Street in Reynoldsburg, or columbuscaraudio.com.
El Dorado Scioto Downs is your Caesars Rewards destination. And big news, Scioto Downs has been chosen to host the prestigious Breeders' Crown in 2026, featuring 12 championship races. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem, call 1-800-589-9966. Visit Caesars.com/Scioto Downs for details.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Join now.
All credit types are welcome at Capital Ford of Columbus and Whitehall. From perfect scores to starting fresh, we'll get you driving. Shop our huge selection and leave in your new car today. Stop in or visit us online at capitalfordofcolumbus.com.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Does heel pain make you hobble just getting out of bed in the morning? If heel pain is affecting your ability to exercise and meet your walking or running goals, relief is as close as your local podiatrist. Podiatric physicians are highly trained doctors who specialize in medical and surgical treatment of the foot and ankle. Ohio Foot and Ankle podiatric physicians are available across the state and are devoted to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care.
For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. I'm 10 Weather Impact Meteorologist Michael Behrens with your latest forecast. Temperatures in the mid-30s this afternoon with some sunshine poking through. We'll be down into the upper 20s tonight with heavy snow expected Saturday. 10 TV Weather Impact Alert Day for the second half of the day as multiple inches of snowfall are expected to fall. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Are you working? Because we barely are. It's Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football and quiet quitting. The Fan. When General Sherman marched through Georgia, he was listening to this show.
Use your skills for good, young warrior.
This is Bishop and Friends.
Indeed it is, and get ready to play, win, and celebrate big at El Dorado Scioto Downs, your ultimate Caesars Rewards destination. And with Caesars Rewards, you're going to reward rewards every time you play, stay, dine, or shop. Not just here, but over 50 Caesars Rewards destinations across the country. From unforgettable getaways to incredible culinary experiences, member enjoy exclusive perks and benefits that make every visit worth it. And at Scioto Downs, the excitement is nonstop. Take your pick. Over 1,700 of the hottest new games. Sip on award-winning craft brews at the Brew Brothers Micro Brewery, or dive into Guy Fieri's Trattoria, home of the out-of-bounds 68-layer lasagna, and the energy just keeps building. Scioto Downs has been chosen to host the prestigious Breeders' Crown in 2026, featuring 12 championship races. It's one of the biggest events in harness racing. It's coming right here to town. So come experience the action, the rewards, the unforgettable moments that are waiting for you at El Dorado Scioto Downs, a Caesars Rewards destination where the rewards never stop. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem, call 1-800-589-9966. Visit Caesars.com/Scioto Downs for details. allegedly today at some point, Sherrone Moore is going to be arraigned up in Michigan for what he did after being let go at the University of Michigan. Tim May with me today, along with the great Bake, of course. To me, Tim, there are 4 distinct layers of this story. There is the layer that, from my perspective, how odd it always was that there was never a coaching search to replace Jim Harbaugh. And my feeling always was that if there were more crumbles there from the Jim Harbaugh scandals, that Sherrone Moore was the perfect patsy to take those on, and that he would indeed fall on the sword. So there's that part of it. The other part of it is the football side of it, and that is, what does Michigan football do from here? My hunch is that they were prepared for it, but as we know, they don't have a president. I don't know if Ward Manuel can survive this either, so who's going to be making that call in terms of where that football program goes? What happens to that recruiting class? What happens to that roster? They're all going to be poached. Reports yesterday that Bryce Underwood has no contract, and that potentially he could be a free agent too, which is absolutely wild.
Wait a minute.
Hold on, just let me get to the 4, and then you're going to weigh in on all of them. The fourth one is this idea of, when did Michigan know what they knew? That's the other part. What was this cover up? Like, for example, if he beats Ohio State, because now there's a flood of information that's out there, a ton, all sorts of sordid details that are coming out. Some of it proven, some of it non-refutable, but there's all this stuff out there. All of these people saying, well, I heard about this months ago. Well, then why didn't you report it if you heard about it?
Right.
Nobody could get any reporting on it. So that part of it. And then there's the human element, where I have incredible empathy for his actual wife and his 3 daughters, whose lives are just in ruins because of the decisions that he made. And he's a grown man, and he's going to have responsibility for those decisions. And he let his family down in the biggest possible way. And so I have great empathy for them. But for me, there are 4 different kind of tracks to take here. What is your kind of view how all of this has transpired over the last 24, 48 hours?
Well, like you said, putting all the facts together and having them all add up is the toughest thing right now in terms of timeline, et cetera. But, I was under the impression that Ward Manuel or whomever met with someone on Wednesday morning who finally corroborated or put all the final piece in place that in essence proved, as far as they were concerned, that this malfeasance had happened with a university employee, and boom, he was automatically fired. I mean, the idea I get is no one that I know. I mean, yeah, there were all the rumors of the fire, supposedly, or smoke floating around, but they hadn't put all the pieces together until that moment. And then, the way I understand it, based on what I've read and heard from some friends up there, he was summarily dismissed as soon as this thing was corroborated. So. You can talk about when and where something should have happened, could have happened, but the bottom line is it did happen, and it happened fairly quickly, the way I understand it, because one of the most shocked people was Sherrone Moore, the way I understand it, in terms of his job was done. So everything from there is a cascade of reaction, the way I look at it, and we all know what happened. He ended up at an apartment building right down the road down there on Sayin, Ann Arbor Saline Road, and was, confronted somebody. There are all these reports about who it was, but, the cops, I don't think, have come out with a real name. Until that happens, you kind of don't throw it out there. But obviously, this guy had a very, of his own making, a very complex life going on. And, Bo, and I want to say this. I mean, I'm not a moralist by any stretch, but for one thing, right out of the gate, I believe anybody who will, in essence, cheat on their loved ones, on their wife, for example, a male man cheating on his wife, will basically do anything. I mean, I
think that's fair.
I mean,
would agree with you.
I don't think there are any boundaries on where or when that person will go with their life. And I've never ever endorsed any kind of that kind of stuff going on. But the bottom line is, wow, sometimes the covers get pulled back, and you can't really, to begin with, you can't really believe what you're reading and hearing, right? And and I think it can that can go for his supervisors also. But if they knew more of the facts about this than they were letting on, 4 or 5, 6 weeks ago, when the rumors really started on the what do you call it, the dark web. yeah, it was really slow bringing it to fruition, but they let him do a press conference on Monday. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't think on Monday there was any intent for Sherrone Moore to be fired. So until all the dominoes lined up and they fell.
So it's interesting that, Tim, you said somebody came forward and corroborated, because I was talking to Bo off the air. One of the things I had wondered about yesterday afternoon was, did this young lady, whoever it is, and it's reported to be, did she still have her job? Because if it's zero tolerance for him, would it be zero tolerance for her as well? And I read an article in that the New York Post put out this morning that said Sherrone Moore was told on Monday to no longer have any contact with this individual, and rather than moving her to somewhere else on the football team or somewhere else in the athletic department, he fired her. And then she went to Ward Manuel and told all of the details.
Yeah,
and
that lines up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's kind of what I'm talking about. Number one. Number two, this individual got a huge raise. Even my wife was pointing that out to me last night. I mean, you know, this huge raise this person got. And the thing about it is, yeah, it takes two to tango. That is absolutely correct. Both parties probably know it's wrong if, in fact, you know, this all happened, which we understand it pretty much did. But then you're still that person's supervisor. And in a workplace, you know, that's not tolerated. That's not tolerated almost anywhere anymore, the way I understand it. So, wow, it's just wrapping your head around this, though. I mean, you know, we know, Bo, we know people, you do too, Baker, that have defended this program and told all of us we were full of it. And you know what I'm talking about, over the last many years. And we're not full of it, man. There was bad things going on.
No, this is every bit the legacy of Jim Harbaugh. All of this is.
Yeah.
This cover up I think I had this yesterday at the end of the show.
Above the law.
There were 11 different coaches were either arrested or suspended from ever coaching. I mean, all of that happened.
The guy
at the same time.
The guy stalking people online or downloading.
Right. I mean, they had 11 different coaches.
Unbelievable.
And it all happened. And I'll tell you this, and this is why I have, when I want to talk about what's going on in that program, the two people that I have on are Angelique Chingalis and John U. Bacon.
Yeah.
Those are the two people that I have on. And
those
I
are
had
my good friends.
They're mine too. And Angelique, I remember her being vividly when they promoted Sherrone Moore, saying that I wouldn't have done it. And she wrote it. That she thought it was too much too soon for him. We talked about that yesterday. And if you saw John U. Bacon's reporting on the Fox channel up in Detroit yesterday, you're getting an unvarnished look at the mess that's up there.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells it like it is. That's why I have those folks on. I know those are friends of yours, and you have them on. And there are people that are telling the real truth up there and doing the real stuff. And the fallout from this, just from a football perspective, is massive fallout. We're going to get into that side of it in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Men, it's the holidays, a time of love and joy. But if you suffer from erectile dysfunction, the season can be tough on you. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if you and your partner are experiencing struggles because of ED, change it up this year. Give the best gift you can give to the one you love by treating your ED and restoring your relationship. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. And as a Promedic restorative health practice, we've literally seen countless thousands of relationships renewed across the nation. Plus, with treatments having success rates well over 90%, coupled with many treatment options, we can likely find the right one for you. You may even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us and give your partner the best gift you can give this season, a renewed, restored relationship. Your first visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in our office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 2 convenient locations in the area to serve you in Hilliard and Westerville.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey, it's Matty Ice. Are you in need of a dependable truck for the long winter months ahead? Well, then my buddies at McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion have just what you're looking for at the best price around. You can lease a brand new 26 Chevy Silverado, $1,500 for just $339 a month for 36 months with only $1,379 due at signing. Or you can save up to $14,000 off MSRP if you finance. Certain restrictions apply. They're just off Route 23 on 95 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, here's what's up on a Friday edition of the program. The Michigan football program in shambles. Where it goes from here, who knows? Who's going to be making the decision on where it goes from here, who knows? It's a very powerful, outspoken board of regents. We know that from the private equity debate that they jumped both feet in as big as possible about a month ago. And so we know that that's going to be probably how this thing takes shape. I'm curious what happens with Ward Manuel. I'm curious what happens to this signing day class. I'm curious what happens to their roster. Of course, none of those things can be poached. The roster can be poached as soon as the portal opens in early January. The signing day class can be poached. And there was already a decommitment, ironically enough for me, from Billings West, a tight end, a 4-star tight end from Billings West, the Golden Bears, was released from his commitment.
Billings.
I covered them 20-some years ago.
Yeah.
So he was released from his commitment. But once a new coach is hired, then there's a 15-day window that will allow those guys to all be released from their national letters of intent. So there's that side of it. And then there's the who's next. And I assume that they have a short list, or they've had a short list with all of this smoke surrounding Sherrone Moore for so long. The question is, will the people call back? Tim, of those two angles, and I know you wanted to weigh in on the roster in the previous segment, where does this program go from here?
Well, it's pretty much you have lifeboats that the players can jump into, but you delay launching them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you try to figure out. I would think, number one, you try to make things as attractive for your big time players to stay, for want of another term. And I'm telling you, man, this guy's name isn't coming up like I thought it would, but I think it's I think it would be the hire, considering where Bryce Underwood was committed to before he went to Michigan, if you remember correctly.
Yep.
And that was LSU. And I'm just looking at Brian Kelly out there with no job, and I'm just going, that to me is a slam dunk, because this is a guy who is, I mean, yeah, things fell apart with him at LSU, no doubt about it. But this guy has done it at the highest level for the most part in Notre Dame, and then before that, his tour through the Michigan schools, the lower Michigan schools, including Grand Valley State. And I'm just going to, I mean, that would, number one, you would think that would be attractive to Bryce Underwood, for example, right? Of keeping him around, and then you move on from there. You almost always, if in fact Bryce Underwood is the answer, and I'm not sure that's the case, but that's a discussion, another discussion. You as you and I've talked about many times, if there's one guy you want to keep on board while all else is failing, it's a big-time quarterback. So I would make things as attractive as possible to that guy, start at that level and move on from there. But really, it's it's more of these players now being guided by their agents, because they're agents, on whether they should stick it out or not. Michigan is going to recommit to being big time. It is a big time program. I mean, it was playing to go to the, to have a chance to go in the college football playoff just 2 weeks ago. So the pieces are there, in my opinion, if they can just hang on to them. But yeah, without a doubt, the competition of the piranha in the water is going to be is already crazy, I'm sure.
They got a nice roster. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of kids.
There are 4 and 5 stars on that roster. A lot of people would like to have.
Yeah, the receiver. I mean, several. Go ahead, Vic.
But we talked yesterday about a lot of the possible candidates. Kalen DeBoer, Brian Kelly, Jed Fish, Kenny Dillingham. We talked about a bunch of those guys. Did you see I don't know if they started last night, but the rumors this morning that started to go around that maybe they would be interested in Tommy Rees?
I did. And I know Penn State was interested in Tommy Rees. Tommy had did a nice job at Notre Dame, did a really good job at Alabama with Jalen Milroe. He's been calling the plays with the Browns for about half a season now. I think the thing you'd have to ask Tommy is what's his why? Like what does he want to be? Does he want to be an NFL head coach? Does he want to try to run a college football program? In talking to folks on both sides of the aisle, college and pro, anybody who can get out of college football will get out of it. It's never been more so. That if there is the right NFL opportunity that comes knocking, then they will answer that call. I believe that absolutely because of what a mess this sport is off the field. It's an up at dawn siege, 24/7, 365. There are no off days ever now, and there's no contracts for players. There's no contracts for coaches. I mean, it's just complete and utter chaos. And we probably don't even know the half of it, Tim.
No,
but I just think like anybody who can, and I don't think it's a coincidence that the Notre Dame athletic director spoke so glowingly about Marcus and doing whatever it would take to keep him, because I don't know Marcus well enough to know what his why is, but I could see the NFL having an interest in him.
Yep.
And I could see Notre Dame saying whatever it takes to keep him. So that's the reality of where this sport is right now. In terms of the Brian Kelly thing, the thing that I wonder if that would satisfy the Michigan man, for whatever the hell that's worth. I wonder if that would satisfy that.
What is that anymore?
It's nothing. There's an ideal, but it's so broken that
kind of makes you nauseous to say that out loud anymore.
Oh, I know. That's why I did it in the accent. The one that keeps coming up is Kalen DeBoer, and I had Feinbaum on yesterday. And to me, there's one of two things that Kalen DeBoer is doing. It's one of two, and I don't think it can be any. I don't think there's a third. He either is cracking under the pressure, and I don't blame him, of following Saban with a delusional fan base while living in the same town. And you know Tuscaloosa, I know Tuscaloosa. It is not a big town. And Nick Saban is omnipresent. Miss Terry and him go to basketball games. Saban goes to the football games. Like when Bowden left Florida State, Tim, he moved out of Tallahassee.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want it. He didn't want to be looming over Jimbo Fisher. Nick Saban is looming over Kalen DeBoer. It's a 3-hour pregame show every Saturday where he's omnipresent. And I understand how that would take its toll on you. The other factor of that is because we had Rich Scarcella on her this week on Penn State, and they really believed if he lost the Iron Bowl, they were going to get Kalen DeBoer. And so the other side of that is, does Kalen DeBoer want people at Alabama to actually appreciate him?
Well, I mean, how do what do they want? Does he want them to put together a parade for him? You know what I mean? For making the college football playoff, when in fact it should have been Notre Dame. And this debate, as y'all well know, and I'm sure you had it too, had it on my podcast. The debate is whether it should have been Notre Dame in place of Alabama. You know what I mean? I mean, they're so lucky to be in the SEC. It's nuts. Number one, number two. I'm telling you, number one, I think Brian Kelly, this is me. I think Brian Kelly's a hell of a football coach, and he's available. And what they need is they don't need, I'm not knocking Tommy Rees. I hardly know anything about him, even though I'm not sure how really good he was at Alabama, for example. I think he was okay in terms of.
He did pretty good with Milroe, don't you think?
Yeah, pretty good, but then it deteriorated.
Him on track.
Yeah, Milroe was
Milroe's not not accurate, and they
bingo.
won the game.
I mean, they did what they could with him. Is I guess my point, but right now, if I'm Michigan, I want somebody who has run a program, and I think at Notre Dame. Brian Kelly ran a pretty straight-up program, whether you like him personally or not, or his personality. He ran a really, I thought, stout program. They didn't get the brass ring, but they came close a couple of times. LSU is a total different animal, as you well know. But he's been a head coach. He knows what head coach means. Sherrone Moore, I mean, that whole born on third base thing that Jim Harbaugh threw out there about Ryan Day, are you kidding me? Sherrone Moore was born on third base when it came to being a head coach, and we saw what happened. I mean, he literally, as we're finding out now, couldn't handle it. I mean, from a psychological or mental standpoint, something popped there. But my point is, Brian Kelly knows what a well-run program looks like because he's run one. And that's where, Jed Fish, okay, I think that's a little bit of a reach. I think Jed Fish did marvelous things at Arizona. This year, the last couple of years at Washington, he dealt with a lot of mass transfers and all that kind of stuff. Kind of got him back on the beam, but nothing spectacular. Let's put it that way. And then Kalen DeBoer, I mean, that one makes no sense to me. Based on, do you want a guy who's running away from something? I mean, I'm just
Brian Kelly at least
was.
I think his wife's from Ypsilanti,
right? But I'm just saying. Yeah. I mean,
so that's I think where
I'm from Alabama and Texas, and I live in Ohio. You know what I mean? So
I do. Yeah, I think DeBoer's a hell of a coach. I don't know that they could do, and he would have no ties to previous regimes.
I do too.
There are no black marks in his past. I mean, Brian Kelly does have the incident at Notre Dame with the videographer on the where the kid died. I mean, it's a long time ago, but it's there.
There were a lot of people involved in that decision.
I understand.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying it's there. And if you want a clean break, and by the way Brian Kelly, some of the stuff coming out of LSU,
I know
on the way that Kelly handles, I think.
Hey, wait, let me interrupt you.
I think they could do a lot worse than Brian Kelly, because I think he's 64 years old. He'd be a stopgap.
Exactly.
You could. They need. This is why it can't be Reese, Bake. This is why it can't be Reese. You have to have somebody who's ran a program.
Exactly.
Because you are stepping into a mess, an absolute mess. And you need to re-recruit your own roster. You need to recommit the signing class. You got to keep Bryce Underwood, who apparently, I mean, that's crazy if they don't have a contract for that kid. And he got $11 million and he can walk.
I was going to interject earlier when as Hayden Fry, late great Hayden Fry would say, "What a surprise!"
Unbelievable.
That all that you think, all that you think is gold is not necessarily gold.
Bo, I agree with that. That's why I thought it was weird that Tommy Reese's name came up. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would think they just went through a first-time head coach. I don't think they want to do that again right now, especially with everything is going on. And I've said this forever, and it has worked out swimmingly here for Ryan Day recently, but obviously there were some rough seas for them, for him for a while. I never like a first-time head coach here at Ohio State. And, Ryan Day still had issues, and everything was in place with the infrastructure guys and Pantoni and Marotti and Voltellini and all those guys. And it is proven to be the right choice in the end, but it took a while to get there. When somebody's running a program for the first time, there's just things that you don't know until you know. And you've got to go through it.
That is correct. Clean break of all of it.
That is correct. And that's why we're talking about right now, which, like you talked about, Bo, they need somebody who's run a program, knows what a good program looks like from the inside out. And we'll see if they get to that point.
And somebody willing to take on a mess.
Correct.
That's
it's a mess. Zach Galifianakis, remember? It's a mess.
It really is. The Columbus Blue Jackets are a mess, too. We will get to that. And young NBC, the inching closer to a big payday. Oh, my God. What a Thursday night. We'll get to all of that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Hey, Jackets fans, we know what's on your holiday wish list. Ask your Secret Santa for a Blue Jackets holiday gift pack. You'll score 2 tickets plus a Blue Jackets Honda shirt. Learn more at bluejackets.com/holiday.
Hey, it's Anthony, and it's Happy Honda Days at your main Honda of Dublin. What am I going to give you? How about rates as low as 0%? You want no payments for 90 days? You got it. Do you have a trade-in? I'll make sure Rich gives you an extra $1,000 for your trade. Yep, an extra $1,000. Or I'll slide you right into a brand new Honda with leases starting from only $239 a month. Happy Honda Days right now at your main Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, or online at yourmainhondaofdublin.com.
'Tis the season to not feel groggy. I know that's not how the song goes, but it's how the rush of the holidays can make us feel. Eric Reeser here, and my friends at Hydrate Me Med Spa have the goods to keep you looking and feeling your best as the year comes to an end. 4 convenient locations in Central Ohio offering medical-grade IV and aesthetic treatments. If you're like me and get a little queasy at the thought of an IV, not a big needle person, I get it. But their staff of incredible certified nurse practitioners makes the process easy. Get your body ready for a successful holiday season by booking your drip today at hydratememedspa.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. The year is fast coming to an end, and maybe you have been putting off doing something you needed to do for a long time, like replace your windows. Well, it's too expensive. I'm not sure about the cost. I have got a solution for you, and you can get this done before the new year. Take advantage of Window Nation's end-of-year sale right now. They've got 50% off all window styles, plus you could get 0% interest financing for 5 years. And we always talk about the cost efficiency of these windows. They will keep your home warmer in the cold months, cooler in the warm months, because they keep the energy you're putting into your house inside your house. But you know what? They also look great. They've got so many styles that'll help beautify your home and protect it from the harsh elements. So check out Window Nation today. Schedule a fast free estimate now at windownation.com. I trust Window Nation because they get an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. They do a 50-point inspection of every window before it leaves the factory. And oh, by the way, they're a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. I like that too. Schedule your estimate today. windownation.com.
Skyline's Mac and Cheese 3-Way is back. This time with white cheddar cheese and creamy cavatappi pasta. Try a Mac and Cheese 3-Way with Skyline's original chili or their new chicken chili at participating Skyline locations for a limited time.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. The holidays are here, and if you've got a collector in your life, you have to check out Midwest Cards. Thousands of packs and boxes from Pokemon to every sport you can name. It's a full-on collector's dream. Plus, they have signed jerseys and memorabilia that'll make any fan go crazy. The variety is awesome, and the selection legendary. So swing by Midwest Cards today, grab an epic gift or even a gift card, and watch your favorite collector's face light up this holiday season. Get to Midwest Cards today and tell them T-Bone sent you.
T-Bone and Tybus.
I'm trunk heavy. That's kind of what I am doing.
You hold all your weight in your legs.
Yeah, look at me. I mean, it's all everywhere, but bottom half, I'm thick. I'm a thick bottom.
T-Bone and Tybus Mornings on the Fan is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
This sports report is brought to you by Bet365. When it comes to sportsbooks, Bet365 has it all. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be located in Ohio.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live, online, or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Hey, it's Timmy Hall, and in a world of tenders, Wendy's decided to make something more juicy, crispy, and even more dippable. New chicken tenders are here. You heard that right. Some may call them tendies, and yeah, that's fun to say, but they're even more fun to eat. So we're giving you the new chicken tendies with a brand new 3-piece combo with fries, a Diet Dr. Pepper, and a new sauce lineup. They're so good, you'll remember them forever. Gotta have tendies, gotta be Wendy's. At participating U.S. Wendy's, Dr. Pepper is a registered trademark of Dr. Pepper 7-Up Inc.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Taking the art of sports radio and day drinking to a whole new level. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
So one of those rare nights where by 6:30 I didn't have anything, and so I was excited to watch Jackets last night and watch the Thursday Night Football. Going to do the 2-screen thing, and we'll get into the Thursday Night Football result in a second. And then I watched the first period, and really the start of the first period. I'm like, okay, I'm good. And I know, Bake, you watch this closely all the time. It's a brutal stretch that the Blue Jackets are in. That was a brutal result last night. 4-1 after the first. They try to get close to it in the second, but then they give up the goal right at the end of the second. It's 5-3, and it's and that's it. And good night, Irene. Dean Evison usually doesn't pull goalies. Pulled Elvis early. 3 goals on his first 5. This thing's a certified mess, my friend.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, he pulled him 1 goal too late. Because as I was sitting there watching that game after the second goal, I was like, you got to get him out now. Because I've seen enough of Elvis. When you see certain things happening, and that goal was a goal that should not have happened. And you could tell, to me at least, I was like, I literally out loud watching the game said, get him out now. Because you could just tell he didn't have it last night. Yeah. And I think it was 1 goal too late. If maybe you prevent that third one, which was another one that probably shouldn't have gone in, maybe if you prevent that, you get a chance. but you don't, and you were just a little too big of a hole. Bo, there's two things that I feel is true about this Blue Jackets team. I feel like the way they are built to win 6-5 games. I don't think they are built for 2-1 games, 1-0 games. They are built to just get out and run. And the other thing, and they do not do this enough, when they play physical, and they started playing physical in that second period and the game got a little chippy, when they play physical, they get engaged and they are a better team.
Yeah. They're not a good hockey team. I mean, that's where we're at.
They're not right now. They're not a great hockey team right now, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're not the worst. I was just humming Bruce Springsteen's "Baby, We Were Born to Run."
The points say they're the worst in the Eastern Conference right now.
They're the second worst team in the East right now. Is kind of what they are.
See, they're not the worst.
You're 30 games in, though.
Yeah, true that. You are who you are right now.
Tim, the only thing that saves them is that there's no separation in the East.
Right.
And in this incredible stretch of poor play where they've lost 4 in a row.
One little run will get you where you want to go, baby.
Yeah, they're only 8 back in the Metropolitan. So they're right there because the East just isn't great. But this is one that jumps out to me. I always look at this, and whether it's football, basketball, whatever, I want to know different goal differential, point differential. The Jackets have the worst point differential in the East.
Well, there you go.
Now, it's not crazy, but it's -15. And for a 500 team, 13 wins, 12 losses, that's alarming to me.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So
yeah. Well, I mean,
they'll have to get it fixed here if they can.
People always ask me, who do I think's going to win? How do I think Ohio State's going to beat Michigan, a couple of weeks ago? And I go, well, if they score more points, they'll beat them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it literally finally does come down to the final tote board. But yeah, I mean, I think you, like for a goalie, for example, I think you can see sometimes when there's this line about flying airplanes, especially big time airliners. You got to stay ahead of the airplane.
Yeah.
I mean, because once you start playing catch up, like on an instrument landing or something like that, then you might as well go around because it's not going to work out. I mean, same thing with playing goalie. Somehow or another, the goalie's instincts have to have him ahead of what's going on in front of him. That's hard, I think, for people to understand, only because it's so chaotic.
Yeah.
But you can tell when a guy is out of his element one night. And like you guys are talking about, I didn't get to watch the game last night. I was babysitting my grandsons. That's another story. But which was excellent, by the way.
That's awesome.
But the highlights and stuff, you can just see when a guy's not quite, the reactions aren't where you want him to be because he's a half beat late. But we all know this. In hockey, that kills you because, you can be playing great in front of him and stuff. But when the goalie's just that tad off, it's going to be a tough, long slog that night.
Tim, are you aware of the bet I made with my 13-year-old, almost 14-year-old?
No.
Are you aware of this? Okay.
No.
So about 4 months ago, we're sitting in the basement, and he goes, and he does this, like he'll make outrageous claims like he knows who invented the question mark.
Yeah.
Like that type of crap.
Yeah.
And so, like, he's sitting next to me.
One of the great lines ever.
Yeah, I'm glad you picked up on that. So then he goes, he says to me, he goes, Dad, do you think you can ski down Mount Everest?
Ooh.
And I said, no, nobody's skied down Mount Everest. What are you, crazy? And he goes, I'll bet you $500.
He pulls up the video.
And he goes, I'll bet you. And I go, fine, I'll bet you $500. Nobody's ever skied down Mount Everest. So then he pulls up the video of some Red Bull guy who skied down Everest.
Right.
And so I'm trying to get out of it on a technicality because one of the things I've instilled with them is if you make a bet, you have to pay up on it, right?
Yes.
So now I owe this punk $500. So this was on like a Thursday night. So then on a Sunday, and at this point, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were 5-1, and I think the Carolina Panthers were 1-5 or something like that. And he's always liked the Panthers from the time he was little, like the uniforms, whatever. He goes, Dad, the Panthers are making the playoffs. And again, outrageous claim. And I go, double or nothing. They are not making the playoffs. I'll bet you double or nothing they're not making the playoffs.
Wow.
So each week. So last night, he went to bed at 10 o'clock. It's $28-14.
Yep.
And I go, look, They're winning this thing. They're going to get themselves to 8-6. It's going to come down to those two games between the Bucs and the Carolina Panthers. They play 2 of the last 3 weeks, but I felt good about it. Bucs are going to take care of it. Come on, Bake. For old time's sakes, buddy. We used to hang out a little bit. Let's give me a victory.
Right.
Nope. Not at all. Overcame a 14-point deficit in the fourth. Did the Falcons, who are playing for nothing. Kirk Cousins throws it all over the place, and they win in walk-off style. And I wake up this morning, and I see the Carolina Panthers atop the NFC South. And guess who came down before I was even up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The collections, when they come hard, man. But bottom line is, I mean, it was funny was after that game, it's like it's almost like the Falcons. It's a team that just needed something desperately, and it's like now they're walking around like they invented paper. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, and I'm just going, no, man, something's still counterfeit here. But I'm telling you, the NFL. I don't know if it's good or bad, the NFL. You know what I mean? From a parity standpoint, because everybody's got players. Mm-hmm. And then if you help that other team out a little bit that doesn't have the chemistry but has the players, you can get beat on any moment. And that was a great example of one team losing its focus, which I think was the Buccaneers. I don't know if you agree. You watched it.
I do. Yeah, I did, yeah.
And boom, it's, but your son's got it right, man.
That sucks so bad.
I mean, you can take a flyer. You can take a flyer like he did from 4 weeks ago and turn it into paper money.
Punk. Absolute punk. All right, coming up next, the Buckeyes. What now? Julian Sayin, by the way, going to join the program at 10:30. We have that to look forward to, which is very nice. Heisman finalist Caleb Downs picks up some awards, and the Buckeyes with the long wait to see who the opponent is and what it looks like. We'll get into all of that with Tim coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
1, 2, 3. Here in The Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan.
Men, we hear it all the time. A man comes in to get his erectile dysfunction treated, and very soon thereafter, he tells us that his relationship is renewed. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and you should know that ED doesn't just affect you, it also often affects your partner. They can feel undesired, unwanted, they may even feel like you don't love them anymore. At Tri-State Men's Health, we've successfully treated thousands of men for ED with protocols that have success rates as high as 90%, which means if you're like most men, we can get you back to the guy you used to be. You could even last up to an hour or more and find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and give your partner the gift of renewed love. Your first visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in our office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. That's tristatemenshealth.com. We have 2 convenient locations in the area to serve you in Hilliard and Westerville. Tri-State Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Getting the cold shoulder? Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your furnace fast. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
'Tis the season to be hungry at Roosters. That's why for every $50 spent on Roosters gift cards, you'll receive a $10 Rooster Buck back in your stocking. May your holidays be filled with friends and family, love and laughter, and of course, Roosters Wings. Go to roosterswings.com today or drop by any Roosters location to purchase your $50 holiday gift cards and receive a $10 Rooster Buck in return. Happy holidays from all of us at Roosters. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Make your shopping stress-free this holiday season. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. As your one-stop luxury destination for over 77 years, we offer everything from brilliant diamonds to classic timepieces and the world's finest fashion jewelry. With every gift wrapped in our signature blue box, you'll be saving time and giving joy, all with guaranteed best prices that no one can match. Experience holiday shopping the way it should be. Simple and unforgettable. Visit Diamond Cellar on Salmo Road or at Easton Town Center.
Okay, Santa, pre-flight checklist time. Nice list?
Check.
Naughty list?
Check.
Meyer shopping list.
Oh, blitz and spells.
All good. I've got the Meyer app right here. Okay, let's see. Sugar, spice.
Gingerbread is nice.
Gift cards, gift wrap. Ooh, Meijer even has fa la 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 low prices on stocking stuffers.
We can't forget batteries.
Good call, big guy. Order sent.
Just in the Saint Nick of time.
Bring more good to life with the seasonal savings at Meijer.
Pain has a way of stealing the moments that matter the most, especially during the holidays. It's not just your knees, back, or shoulder. It's time with family and friends. But 2026, that can all change with your body remembers how to heal. It just needs a little help finding the way back. QC Kinetics here in Columbus believe relief doesn't have to come from surgery or pain pills. They use your own body's natural healing ability to repair and restore what's been lost, helping you move, live, and feel like yourself again. It's your body's comeback story, powered by the very cells that built you in the first place. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery. Just your body remembering how to feel alive again. QC Kinetics deliver long-term relief. Finally, make the new year your turning point where pain stops defining you. It's time to take that step literally. With QC Kinetics, healing is within reach. Schedule your free consultation today in Dublin or Gahanna. Now's a great time to use your HSA and FSA. For treatment, go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So don't just hang your own lights. Look for the northern lights. Drink cocoa on the beach. Or be a drive-by karaoke caroler. Because every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So you can take holidays to places they've never been with the capable Kia SUV. And right now, get 0.9% APR for up to 60 months for well-qualified buyers and $1,000 bonus cash on the purchase of specially tagged new 2025 Telluride, Sorrento, and Sportage models. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Financing for 24 to 60 months from Kia Finance. Subject to credit approval for purchase of new 2025 Telluride, Sorrento, and Sportage. $1,705 per month per $1,000 financed at 60 months. $1,000 bonus cash on specially tagged models must be applied as down payment. Must take delivery by 1/2/26. Offers may not be combined except where specified. Subject to dealer participation and vehicle availability. See Kia dealer for details.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Ryan Baker. The 21st ranked Ohio State women's basketball team improved to 8-1 last night, beating Northern Kentucky 94-62. Big game from Jelani Cambridge. She led 3 Buckeyes in double figures with 33. Her sister Kennedy, just a menace on the defensive side with 10 steals. They're back in action Sunday at 1, hosting Toledo. The Columbus Blue Jackets have lost 4 straight, falling to the Ottawa Senators 6-3 and nationwide last night. Elvis Merzlikins gives up 3 goals on his first 5 shots. He's pulled for Jet Greaves. Dmitry Voronkov, Dante Fabro, Boone Jenner all score for the Blue Jackets. Kirk Cousins throws for 373 and 3 touchdowns, and the Falcons overcome a 14-point deficit to beat the Tampa Bay Bucks 29-28. This one's sponsored by Whiskey War from High Bank Distillery. Drink local, drink High Bank.
Distilled sports discussion served in light beer quantities. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, second hour of the program here on a Friday because I guess Julian's got some big things going on because, you know, he's a Heisman finalist. We're going to move it up. He's going to join it around 10:18, 10:20.
Sweet.
So in about 15 minutes from now, Julian will join the program. Tim May is with me today. The great Bake is here as well. So you have that to look forward to, which is very, very nice. Speaking of Julian and the Buckeyes, normally at 10:30 on a Friday, Tim, we have a conversation about kind of the state of state, if you will. As you watched last Saturday night, was there anything that surprised you about the way that one went? I had Ohio State winning 27-13, so obviously the result surprised me.
Yeah. I mean, it surprised me that Ohio State got inside the 10-yard line and came up twice and came up with 0 points. That was definitely a surprise. I know they've had red zone issues, as everybody likes to say and stuff, but you couldn't figure out a way to punch it in. It surprised me they didn't get more of a handle on what Indiana was doing defensively up front on a more consistent basis. But you know what? It's hard to get a handle on what Indiana's doing on defense, the way they will show you 6 people up there and rush 4, but you don't know which 4 are coming and all that kind of stuff. I thought the run game, they would get it going a little bit. They kind of did in fits and spurts, but that's what happens to you when you're going against that kind of defense. I really like the way Indiana plays defense, just like I like Ohio State's. The main thing was I really thought Ohio State was putting that drive together at the end that was going to end it, and boom, they couldn't get the touchdown, and so they settled for the field goal and missed the field goal. Now you all look crazy. You know what's funny, Bo, is I'm sitting there Sunday night, and I'm watching the next night. I'm watching the Texans and the Chiefs. Yeah. It was almost the exact same game, meaning neither team got a true handle on what the other team was doing defensively on a consistent basis, and it came down to making plays. I mean, a big play or two. And that's how you know that these were 2 big-time teams, Ohio State and Indiana, going at each other in Lucas Oil, because the defenses were just playing games with you, both mentally and physically, and Fernando Mendoza, I like saying his name, I don't know if you noticed that. Fernando Mendoza, really didn't have a much better night than Julian Sayin did. I mean, it was a push.
No, it was a push.
But the little back shoulder fade route to Surratt, over Jermaine Matthews, boom, there's the game, because Ohio State could not score in the second half. And it really came down to that. But I did not think that Indiana would be able to hold Ohio State to 10 points. No, I did not. And so that was a surprise. And I'll say this, the late, great Bobby Bowden used to say when everybody, the defense played well enough to win the game. That's the way those people talk, by the way. No, it didn't, because you had the lead and you gave it up. I mean,
not getting off the field on third down multiple times was painful to watch, and that's probably as you're talking about the Mendoza throw to Surratt, that's probably as consequential a throw.
Yep.
It's up there, like in the history of the sport.
Yes.
They're the 1 seed. They win the Big Ten for the first time since '45 by themselves. Mendoza's going to win the Heisman Saturday night.
I think so, but I can't reveal that yet.
No, I'm not saying how I voted. You're not saying how you voted. But that's what was in line on that thing. So, you think about that throw. Go back to the conversation about it, though. I don't want to get too distracted. Here's the thing that got me, and I didn't know this until I saw it.
Uh-oh.
Indiana's defensive line bully-balled.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't see that coming. They were a better defensive line, certainly, than Michigan. They were a better defensive line than Texas. And that's when if you go back 20 years and Ohio State would have trouble with the SEC teams, Florida, LSU, and back-to-back national titles, when you would talk to folks about it, everybody outside would talk about SEC speed, but I would always say, no. It's Santonio Holmes can run with anybody. Ted Ginn can run with anybody. It wasn't SEC speed. It was in the trenches. And then they got that fixed. Urban got it fixed. Tress started to get it fixed.
Yep.
And it was like, okay, this is really where it is. We've got to win in the trenches. And so then when Ohio State would play, for example, Oregon in the national title, and I saw Oregon run in, and I'm like, oh, they got no chance. Yeah. They're not going to be able to stand up against this.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing I look at. Indiana's defensive front dominated.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if you ever know. Yeah, you've noticed. You like baseball. When you're playing against a guy throwing a knuckleball, you got to wear a bigger glove, right? I mean, that literally the games they played up front. Indiana's defensive front plays up front. There, he said it for the 4th time.
Yeah.
Those are tough to deal with. I mean, that's because you think you're blocking this guy and you're really blocking that guy, and everybody has to be on the same page in terms of pass off but also trying to be aggressive. And it's hard to be aggressive when a guy is lining up on this one let's say right guard. You're at right guard and the guy's lining up on the B gap and he's coming across your face into the A gap. And then the next play, he's flipping out to the C gap, and that guy's coming in through the B gap. I mean, the little games they played within the games they were playing about who was even rushing, those are tough to deal with on a consistent basis. Sometimes you get it right. A lot of times you get it wrong. But that's why you have to make your points. You have to make your plays in the seams there of that, in between. And that's what Ohio State could not do on a consistent basis. No, but I go back to this. Ohio State still put together one more good drive than Indiana did. Just Ohio State didn't capitalize on them. So
to your point, that's been a problem all year, the short red zone. I don't know that they, to this far in, I don't know what they can count on the short red zone.
I've heard
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've heard the criticism now, and seen it and read it and stuff about the 3 and 4 tight end sets they put in there. I was a fan of that at the beginning of the year, but I do believe in the what I've had my buddy Jeff Snook and everybody else. I got him on my upcoming Monday podcast because he eviscerates a Ohio State loss like no other. but the idea of taking maybe the best offensive player in college football sometimes off the field in the red zone, inside the 10-yard line, and going with 4 tight ends, including one of them playing a fullback. I'm talking about Jeremiah Smith off the field and/or Carnell Tate. I'm not sure I'm a believer in that anymore. I think we've seen it blow up on them. I mean, I would make a defense have to defend Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith down there and then play football with the other 9. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we'll see if Ohio State, if in fact they go that route. They've rarely, and I do believe this, they rarely have played. I mean, Dan Orlovsky was right about the opposition Ohio State has faced since Texas, and very, very, I don't know why my alarm goes off like that when I've got everything turned off. But they've rarely faced a team of. They didn't face a team of Indiana's caliber until they faced in Indiana, of a team that could play games with you. And physically, by the way, was a matchup. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Well, it wasn't fluky.
No.
They're really good, Bake.
Oh, yeah.
And, Tim, we've been talking about that on this show for a long time. Why, when you get down, when you need to score points, would you take your 2 best players off the field? It never makes any sense. You just throw the ball up to one of those 2, either 4 or 17, and those aren't 50-50 balls. Those are like 80-20 balls with those 2 guys. So throw them up and give it to them.
It's not quite that easy, but go ahead.
You also have an offense, and I understand things get different when the field gets smaller, but you have an offense, as Bo has termed it, it's built like a Ferrari. This offense isn't made to go off-road and four-wheel.
But that's what I liked about the 3 and 4 tight end sets.
They were addressing. How you're built.
They were, well, dude, what do you mean? That they were addressing that aspect of it, of wanting to be physical down inside the 5-yard line this year. I gave it up to them for a while, but it comes a time, for example, the 3rd down play, the Julian Sayin, where the ball got tipped away to Bennett Christian. The first look was to the running back. I think it was Bo Jackson coming out of the backfield, streaking into the right flat. Julian didn't like what he saw there, tried to throw to Bennett Christian, who he's hit by the way, this year on that exact same play. Well, Indiana scouted that.
Yeah, they knew it was coming. They were ready.
They knew it was. I mean, as soon as they didn't buy the play fake, guys were covered, except for Nate Roberts came through on the play. I think it was Nate Roberts came through on the play fake, and nobody picked him up. I mean, in the middle of the field. But it's hard to sprint right and then throw back into the middle like that. I mean, if you go back and just parse it, but Julian had really 3 options there: Bo Jackson, Bennett Christian, or run it. And
the linebacker was there on the run.
Yeah,
the linebacker was exactly on the run.
Exactly.
There wasn't anything there.
And when you look at Bennett Christian, had like a step on the guy, but by the time the ball got there, that guy made a hell of a play. I'm trying to remember the guy who knocked the ball away on that 3rd down play. Now, as it turns out, that was ball game.
Yeah, that was ball game. The man who threw that ball was Julian Sayin. He will join the program coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Credit challenges, we got solutions. At Capital Florida, Columbus, and Whitehall, all credit types are welcome. Good, fair, poor, or none. Get approved fast and cruise away happy. Stop in or visit us online at capitalfloridacolumbus.com.
Bob Dylan, The Rough and Rowdy Ways Tour. April 9th, Palace Theater. Tickets on sale now at bobdylan.com. Bob Dylan, live on stage. Show will start promptly at 8 p.m.
This Christmas? Get a bonus AI Essentials course when you enroll in any My Computer Career IT program by the end of the year. That's a $3,900 value. Attend classes online or on campus. Enjoy lifetime job placement support and IT certifications in high demand. Go to mycomputercareer.edu today and take the free career evaluation. That's mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Conditions apply to AI offer and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill.
Imagine the perfect chicken tender. Crispy, juicy, for lack of a better word, tendery. Now imagine these perfect tenders at Wendy's. 'Cause they are. Wendy's new chicken tenders are here with delicious new dipping sauces like Wendy's Signature, Creamy Ranch, and Honey Barbecue. And they're so good, we even changed our name from Wendy's to Tendies. I believe that's what the kids call manifesting. For Tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's.
Got this. Breathe. You got this. You got this.
In the moments that truly matter, what do? Rise to the occasion. Ohio Health. It's time.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
Join our resident gambling degenerates, Steve Biddle and Scotty Vegas for On the Money, Sunday mornings at 9.
Presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
All the action, none of the responsibility.
The Fan.
All credit types are welcome at Capital Ford of Columbus and Whitehall. From perfect scores to starting fresh, we'll get you driving. Shop our huge selection and leave in your new car today. Stop in or visit us online at capitalfordofcolumbus.com.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000. 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Into Central Ohio, I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens. Temperatures in the mid-30s this afternoon. A little sun poking through. Mostly cloudy tonight, upper 20s, low 30s tomorrow. Snow starts around the midday and continues through the evening hours. Heavy snow expected will impact travel. Multiple inches of plowable snow. 10 TV Weather Impact Alert Day will be in place. That's your latest weather forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
It's Friday and there's football. I shall call it Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for all things football. The Fan. Bo knows many people. He talks to the interesting ones on this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
Bill Bishop and Tim May with you, and joining us now on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, Buckeyes starting quarterback, Heisman Trophy finalist Julian Sayin just landed in New York, as my folks have let me know. Julian, thank you so much for taking the time, buddy. I've said all season long that you are allergic to inaccuracy. Go all the way back for me. When did you start to realize that you could throw a football kind of wherever you wanted to?
Yeah, I think growing up, I just
kind of gravitated to the position and, followed kind of my brother's footsteps. But, I think, accuracy, it takes everybody on offense. It takes receivers making great catches and the offensive line doing their part and blocking well for you. So I think it just takes everybody.
Were there things you did as a kid that honed it, that you worked, just processes to get to the point where it feels like, because to me, you're the most natural thrower of the football I've ever seen come through here. It's shocking almost if one's inaccurate. What did you do to get to that point?
I think just, growing up, I just had a lot of love for the game and was always going out there and trying to throw and, just get better and improve every day. And I've always been a natural thrower of the ball, I think. And I just was trying to fine tune that growing up throughout my process.
Yeah, Julian, you're the last guy sitting on a dunking stool would want to see coming up to his booth, right? I mean, I think that's pretty accurate, right? Hey.
Yeah, I've been to a couple of those when I was at the fair.
Yeah, carried a lot of big bears home, or at least your girlfriend did. I wanted to ask you, what do you want to see most? You're in New York City. I don't know if y'all flew into Teterboro, which is across the river from Manhattan and stuff. Probably went private plane today. But my point is, what do you want to get to see on this trip, along with seeing maybe them call your name or hearing them call your name for the Heisman? But what do you want to see on this trip? Like you talked about the other day, you were there when you were 12 years old. And is there one place you've always wanted to go see and stand on top of or whatever?
I'm just excited to kind of experience what they have planned. I'm not, I don't have any specific things that I want to go see, but, I'm just excited to see what the experience is and, take it all in.
Julian, how do you wrap your head around the last couple of weeks from winning in the game in crazy snow conditions and all of the emotion that comes with that, the Big Ten championship game last week, now you're in New York at the Heisman. It's so much so fast. How are you compartmentalizing it? How are you handling and what does it sound like when you hear, I mean, as a kid who's always been a natural thrower of the football, one of the dreams has to be to win the Heisman if you dare to dream that big. What does it do for you to hear Heisman Trophy finalist?
Yeah, it's really special. Growing up, I've always wanted to, be a part of this and, to be in New York for it. It's amazing. I think you just got to take it one day at a time. We had the loss the past weekend and, we'll come in and watch the film and, we play another game in, 20 days from now. So I think you just take it one day at a time, but it's a great honor to be here, and I'm really excited.
I was wondering, June, I was going to ask you this earlier this week, but do you almost need a break at this point in the year where you've been concentrating so much, you've been getting ready for games, huge games down the stretch, et cetera? Is this a little bit of a welcome relief for you in terms of, from maybe a mental standpoint, if anything else, of just kind of kicking back at least one weekend and kind of enjoying life, enjoying the spoils instead of grinding to getting ready for another game?
I think you don't really take your mind off the ball. We're thinking about the next one that we're about to go play. But I think it will be nice to, we get some guys, fully healthy and, just get to recover our bodies a little bit.
You were obviously on the team last year and watched firsthand as Will navigated those 4 games to get that national championship. And I know if you sign up to play quarterback here, obviously that's one of the goals is to do that. What did you learn last year? Probably one of the first times in your life where you watched and didn't play. What did you learn from him, and what are you trying to apply from that, and just how you've grown as a leader this year?
I think I learned a lot from him, just about the way he prepared and the way he was a leader for that team, for that offense. And there were so many great points that I took from him, just sitting in the meeting room, and just so many great points from him. So I think I learned a lot last season.
Hey, Julian, who are you most curious to get to know a little bit better? Is it Diego Pavia? Is it Jeremiah Love? Is it Fernando Mendoza? Obviously, you got to see him up close and personal. I don't know how much interaction y'all had last week after the game. But who are you most curious to get to know a little bit more about? I mean, obviously, Pavia, playmaking extraordinaire. But go ahead. Who are you most curious to get to know?
Yeah, I think I've never met any of them in person, so I'm excited to meet all of them, and it should be a fun weekend.
Well, the other thing that's cool about the Heisman is it's all the past Heisman winners, right? And so there's going to be folks that you're going to see who you've looked up to, who you've idolized. It's a massive stage when you look around, and especially at the end when they go to announce it and they all come up there. Have you thought about that moment much in the lead up to this?
Yeah, I think it's obviously really cool to have all those past winners up there. Guys who I looked up to my entire life. So when I was a kid, you watch it on TV and you think about that moment. So definitely.
Hey, what are you, Julian? What are you and your team as you're sitting there? Like you said, it's never far from you, the football aspect of things. What are you thinking needs to maybe be juiced up a little bit between now and when y'all play the winner of Miami and Texas A&M? Where can y'all go with this offense? Maybe you ran into roadblocks with last week against Indiana that you think needs improvement.
Yeah, I think we just we hurt ourselves in a lot of ways and didn't execute to the best of our abilities. So just got to clean up our execution and practice and make sure everything is sharp and on point.
It's such a crazy calendar that you guys are in the middle of here. I can't imagine being a player in the middle of it, but it's it's a game every week, and you get the bye weeks that are worked in there, and there's so much stuff that just keeps coming at you. Now you got like this 20-day break here. As Coach Day has addressed you guys, and it's different from last year, right? Because last year you guys played in the first round, and so now you have this big break. What is kind of the plan from the team perspective on how you guys are going to navigate the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, we've been taking a little bit of time to get our bodies healthy, but we're lifting, we're watching film, we're getting ready, we're preparing, we're practicing. So we're getting ready for this matchup, whether it's Miami or Texas A&M.
Hey, June, were you surprised to see that 3 Buckeyes are in the top 9 of the Heisman Trophy voting this year? I mean, Caleb and go ahead. Yeah,
we have some great players on the team, so I wasn't too surprised to see it. Caleb and Jeremiah up there as well. They're really great players, and it's awesome to see them.
You think about, I'm sure all of these things you consider, but you think about your recruitment and all of those things, and then the chaos that comes with Saban moving on, and you find another place, and it's been well documented. But the way that this has played out so far, it had to be pretty close to the way that you had hoped it would play out in your head when you were forced to make that decision in such a short time. And what can you tell me about what you remember about the decision to choose Ohio State and kind of in your head how you envisioned it playing out?
Yeah, I think I wanted to come to Ohio State, just because of the tradition here, the quarterback development that Coach Day has, and, the talent around you, an offense and a great defense. So I think it's all kind of played out as to the way I wanted it to. We still have more football left to play, but from a perspective of what I wanted in a school, I think it's been awesome.
Hey, Julian, did you have to submit a list of people you would like to have at the Heisman ceremony? I mean, I think Mom and Dad are going to be there. Maybe Coach McNeil from Carlsbad may or might not be there. But how does that all work? I mean, from the standpoint of who can and can't come, so to speak?
Yeah, you submit a list, and I was at my family, and then my head coach will be there, so it's to be a really fun weekend.
Who picked your outfit?
I did, yeah.
You give us a little teaser. You feel confident what the choice was?
Yeah, I'm confident in it. Should be good.
Any surprises you're going to unveil?
No, nothing crazy.
Gotcha.
Nothing crazy.
Hey, real quick though, it is. One last thing. It is cool being there, isn't it? I mean, when you think about it, like you said, it was a little bit of a dream. Everybody dreams that dream, but like we were talking to you about earlier this week, few people have the wherewithal to not only make it happen, but be connected to a team that helps get you to that point, et cetera. Just how would you explain how things have sort of come together in your life to this moment?
Yeah, I think I've been surrounded by just great people. Being at a school like Ohio State that just has great people around you and has a great team around you, has great coaches. It's been a blessing.
Buddy, I've got a 9-year-old, and this is my thank you to you. We went in to get a haircut in August, and he told the barber, he said, I want the Julian Sayin. And I said, we can do that. We can do that all day long. You are Julian Sayin all day long. And I just thank you for the way that you handle yourself, the way that you've carried yourself as a Buckeye, and the way that you've represented a state, and how important you are to the kids of the state. It's really an incredible responsibility, and you've just crushed it, man. And when you hear, I'm sure you get that all the time, but like you've been a hell of a role model, bud.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Good luck tomorrow night. Thank you so much for your time, pal.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, there he goes. Julian Sayin, Heisman Trophy finalist at Ohio State. Incredible first season of quarterback play out of him. We will react to what we just heard from Julian, and also have some thoughts on his season and what's still to come coming up in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time, Sam.
Temperatures are dropping, but the deals are just getting hot.
Time for our annual Ford Holiday Gift Guide.
Oh, yeah.
Hard to go wrong with great deals on trucks and SUVs from Ford, America's all-time best-selling auto brand.
Don't forget the first rule of holiday gift giving, Hank.
What's that, Sam?
Always remember to treat yourself, too.
Well said.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
The Lindsay Honda year-end clearance is on. Enjoy the lowest prices of the season on hundreds of new in-stock Hondas, like 2026 Civic Sport Hybrid Sedan or 2026 HR-V LX front-wheel drive. Your choice, just $299 a month. Remember, our goal is 100% credit approval. Shop our Honda Wonderland now and save big.
From our family to yours, Merry Christmas.
Happy Honda Clearance on select 2025 models only. Visit lindsayhonda.com for details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-691-9999. That's 800-691-9999.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Pull up a stool and ask the bartender for something neat, because Uncle Bo is on the radio. This is Bishop and Friends.
Indeed it is, and we are proudly sponsored by our great friends at Diamond Cellar, your true jeweler for over 78 years. Buckeye jewelry starting at just $99. Still time, kids. Still a couple of weeks. Get there. Tell them Bo sent you. Easton and Sawmill. They will take care of you on that side of things. Tim, I remember you and I... the great Tim May with me. I remember you and I his freshman year when Will had come in, and we were out there. It was those open training camp practices, which they do, that are just so awesome. And we were out there and we were talking after I'd gotten off the air, and after watching him throw.
Yeah.
And obviously Will was going to be the starter, and at that time it was Devin Brown in the mix, but Will was going to be the starter, and everybody kind of knew it, but you couldn't help but just watch. And one thing that I remember you and I discussing was the way that the ball comes out of his hand. Mm-hmm. It just was different. It just spun different. The accuracy, he just always had it. And so when that competition, you were choosing between two very different styles between Lincoln and Julian. They're not really that similar in terms of the way that they play the position. And then this year, obviously, he won it. And then it's played out. And I've told you and I know you were as bullish on him as I was, that just wait till you see him throw it. And he has had one of the great first seasons that a first-year quarterback has ever had here.
Yeah. What jumps out at you immediately when you watch him throw the ball, number one, his release. Even Kurt Cignetti brought that up last week, before the Big Ten championship game. But he's got that, I got privileged to sit and listen to Billy Fessler talk about quarterback play last year in the or earlier this year in the coaches clinic, But Julian exemplifies this. He's got that forward lean to him when he's throwing the ball, meaning the the way it comes out of his hand, it's like he looks like Roger Clemens throwing a fastball. The way, Clemens had that forward sort of like step, but forward lean where your top of your body's ahead of the bottom of your body. I mean, it's just cool to watch. And sometimes you're throwing under duress, so you don't necessarily always get that. But the way I asked Ryan Day about this earlier in the year, the way Julian pretty much stays on platform for the most part when he's throwing the ball, but then when he's off platform, he still gets his upper body in the right the right configuration, which is uncanny. And not everybody, you think you can teach your son to do that? No. And like I was asking him earlier this week after he was named a Heisman finalist, when we got to talk to him, there are a lot of guys who have little kids who have the dream of going to New York City for the Heisman ceremony, who, when they're little kids, but then when you grow into that body of not only just having that dream, but then having the physical ability to do things over and above everybody else, and then mentally to handle the load. The load is ridiculous for quarterbacks. Hope people aren't fooled by Julian being a man of few words, because he definitely is that when he talks to us. But inside him, man, he's thinking football. You can see it. I mean, his smoothness. I think the thing that surprised me the more this year went on was just how natural he looked on the move, meaning getting outside the pocket, moving within the pocket to buy time and stuff. That doesn't mean every play goes off without a hitch, but that's what took him over the top for me. Is he doesn't just have the arm, he doesn't just have the quarterback acumen, he has the physical ability to avoid pressure. You know what he reminds me of, Bo? He reminds me, not exactly, but he reminds me of Joe Montana. And Montana's ability to stay within the play, get outside the pocket, move around, and still get off a clean pass accurately. And his accuracy, I'm talking about Julian's, I've never seen anything like it. Probably the closest were C.J. Stroud and Troy Smith, but this guy's on another level.
Well, Tim, no one's seen anything like it. If they were to play no more games, he would set the NCAA single season record for passing accuracy.
Right, and many of those were throwaways, the ones that missed.
And we're talking about all of his physical tools, and we don't talk about his running ability. He's a much better athlete than people probably give him credit for. When I was getting ready for one of my state championship games last week, I was talking to the St. Henry coach, and he was talking about the quarterback who he's related to. It's like his second cousin, but he calls him his nephew. And he was talking about him, and he said, Charlie is so calm. He said, I almost get angry at him because he never shows any emotion, and I don't know what he's thinking. And that's so important sometimes with a quarterback, especially when things are going really bad, to never let anybody show that it's bothering you, your body language, anything like that. And also, you don't want the team to get too crazy high when it's going good, because things can go bad so soon. And when he was telling me that, when he was talking about that, it did make me think of Julian and how Ryan is in that, and he's coming off the sideline and Ryan's on him like, what's going on here? And Julian just kind of smirks. And takes it all and then goes to the bench, and they put the camera right in his face, and he's just smiling. Nothing phases the dude. He's unflappable, and that is so important, I feel like, for a quarterback with their team.
Well, I think that was put to the test in Ann Arbor.
Yes.
Because he throws a pick on his second throw. They obviously said, we're going to throw to 4 and 17 first, because we're going to prove to everybody that they're ready.
They're
and you're
back.
gonna have to deal with them. They're back. And the first one's incomplete. The second one's picked. And then he comes right back out the next drive in conditions I'm certain he's never played in his life, and was completely everything he's been all season long.
Yeah.
That's when I said, okay, you knew it, but he hadn't really faced true adversity yet as a quarterback at Ohio State. I mean, the Texas game's 14-7, and I said this after the Texas game on the Monday, I thought he could have handled a lot more than they gave him in the Texas game, and he executed that game plan flawlessly. Yeah. And I think coming out of that pick on his second throw in Ann Arbor, in the snow, in the cold, that's when I was like, okay. Not that you need it anymore, but that's when it was. That was so impressive to me, Tim.
Yeah, think about the dynamic of that Texas game, though. They got up 14-0. and your defense has got Arch Manning, doing.
No, I just mean,
no. I'm just saying
they could have let him go a lot more than they did.
Oh
in
yeah,
my opinion.
It would have been interesting if that game had come down to a tighter game. Let's say that going into into the fourth quarter basically. But the bottom line is now you don't want to do anything to screw it up. But I agree with you. And the other thing is it's really funny, this whole Heisman race now. If the regular season had ended, like everybody wants, to get away from conference championship games. If the regular season had ended with him throwing 3 touchdown passes to his 3 primary receivers in the Michigan game, in the snow, in the breeze and snow up there, I'm just wondered how the Heisman race would have come down instead of having this extra game, which basically, in my mind, I'm a Heisman voter, pitted the top 2 candidates, and then Mendoza wins by 3 points. So I think it would have had a curious spin on this Heisman race if, in fact, it had ended on November 29th instead of last week.
Probably would have been him and Pavia.
Might have
been the top
That's what I'm
2,
saying.
I would say.
Yeah, but I think the winner
he would have won it.
The winner of the Big Ten championship game became, in my opinion, the odds-on favorite.
Yeah, and I think not just your opinion, but Vegas's opinion too.
Correct.
And I do think I'm curious to see what Julian and what this offense's approach is in the playoff. Because one thing that I was even surprised in the Indiana game last week, Tim, was I thought that I understand what they were trying to do. They all season they've tried to limit possessions. They've tried to limit the amount of plays. They're playing the long game, all of it. But there wasn't you don't give yourself a lot of time if it doesn't go right.
Correct.
And I would love to see that kid operate tempo. We haven't really seen him do it yet. Even before half against Indiana, they weren't really that interested in it.
Right.
And I just would love to see him operate some tempo. It's just something we haven't seen.
But tempo,
yet. They're going to have perfectly manicured conditions the next 3 times they play.
Right.
And yes,
and,
I'm expecting them playing 3 more times.
Yeah. And tempo, you got to get first downs when you go tempo, or else.
Yeah.
I mean, Ohio State only had the ball for 22 plays in the first half offensively at Michigan, against Indiana. And that's not enough to get any kind of sample of what's going right or wrong. You just know on a couple of plays. But the bottom line is what getting back to Indiana and the way they affected Julian Sayin's game is there were several plays, like Ryan Day alluded to this the other day. They wanted to get Carnell Tate more involved even in the second half, but there were several of those plays where just when you're ready to launch, a guy came free, meaning a defensive guy, and you got to move. And so now you're on plan B, C, and D. And so they definitely have got to get some things figured out in that direction. But I think you agree with me. I think Texas A&M and Miami both will offer them some big-time opportunities to move the ball, meaning maybe some big plays, et cetera. It's not the same as Indiana's defense. So I'm curious to see if Ryan and company come out with the same mind bent they had against Tennessee.
Real quick on that was able to be done because Indiana got pressure with 4.
Correct.
And that's how you could have all that confusion on the back end. Go ahead, Vic.
It'll be fun to see if they do. If they come out and put the foot on the accelerator. Because, Tim, you're right. When you go tempo, you need to get first downs or you're giving the ball to the other team really quick.
Yeah.
When you play the way you've played all year, though, you've got to put points on the board on those drives. And when you don't, that's huge momentum for the other team. So it's kind of a two-edged sword there with both styles. I just think, Bo, and we've talked about it all year on this show, I think this team is built for tempo. And I think a quarterback like Julian with those 2 guys on the outside would thrive.
Yeah, the one last thing, and obviously what you were talking about how Julian, his answers are brief. I think his media policy is much like his play.
Yeah.
Incredibly efficient.
Yes.
Like he answers the question, it's efficiency, and away you go.
But he rarely.
That's just who he is.
Yeah, he rarely reveals much.
No.
About him. I mean, that's why I like talking to his high school coach, Thad McNeil. He's a great guy. Yeah. And it's funny, Julian lets other people sing his praises, and I understand that. But just think about it. Will Howard going to the Heisman ceremony, right? And we might have gotten 2 questions.
Oh, yeah, right. And he was also 23 years old.
Correct.
And had been around a lot.
But he would have expounded on everything he's seeing as he's riding with Jerry Emig in the Lincoln Town car, going through the Lincoln Tunnel,
for sure.
On their way to a Midtown. So,
Bo, how exciting is it that we get to do this again with him maybe next year, with him and Jeremiah both coming back?
Absolutely. We'll
Hey,
hit
by the way.
on a thing up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is a daily show with Coach Jake Diebler, brought to you by Encova Insurance. Your team playing in Cleveland tomorrow against West Virginia. This is nothing new, but is there a little bit of a sizzle that comes with guys playing in NBA arenas?
I think so. I think that's the ultimate goal for everybody, right? Is be able to play in an NBA arena every time, for a career. So I think this will be a great environment. West Virginia will travel well. It's all whenever we've played them up there, it's been a really, really fun game. So we're looking forward to tomorrow.
Okay, we'll have another comment in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Now, the officials have been talking for quite some time.
All righty, let's see what they have to say.
Upon further review, there is no penalty on the play. However, we have conferred and discovered that Bob, the line judge, has saved a boatload for his kids' college using Ohio's 529 plan. It is tax-free, accepted nationwide. Bob recommends we all go to collegeadvantage.com. First down.
Well, that's not entirely unexpected.
Classic Bob.
At Ohio State, we are the never afraid to innovate teams. The agile, get it done teams. The achieve more together teams. And the improve people's lives teams. Together, we are the Ohio State University.
Learn more about Ohio State at osu.edu/impact.
This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State athletics.
Jake, as your team gets ready to play West Virginia and Cleveland tomorrow, is there something to, whether it's recruiting or just brand sense, to be able to wave the flag up in Northeast Ohio?
Yeah, we're exploring ways for us to play kind of throughout the state, and I think being able to go up to Cleveland is a great thing. It is deep, Buckeye country up there, and so we're looking forward to getting up there and love when we have opportunities to come play up there.
Yeah, there's the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
'Tis the season to be hungry at Roosters. That's why for every $50 spent on Roosters gift cards, you'll receive a $10 Rooster Buck back in your stocking. May your holidays be filled with friends and family, love and laughter, and of course, Roosters Wings. Go to roosterswings.com today or drop by any Roosters location to purchase your $50 holiday gift cards and receive a $10 Rooster Buck in return. Happy holidays from all of us at Roosters. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Toyotathon is on, and there's no better way to get in the spirit of the season than with a new Toyota. Now through January 5th, get 2.99 APR financing on remaining new 25 Tacomas. Excludes TRD Pro and Trail Hunter. Or lease a well-equipped 25 Tacoma SR5 for $259 a month for 39 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. Listen to The Beat with Austin and Byrne, now powered by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Get the latest Buckeye news, insights, and unbeatable analysis every day. Don't miss a moment. Stream The Beat with Austin and Byrne, sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Instant classics are exciting, but true legends have impact over time, like how Plant Moran has been counted on by companies and clients for the past 100 years. Counted on for advice by the workwear brand You Zip Up Every Day, counted on for guidance by the zoos and aquariums inspiring the next generation, counted on for a holistic approach to those growing, protecting, and sharing their wealth. From accounting to tax to consulting to wealth management, we're built year after year on the stories and success we help others achieve. Here's to the next 100 years of Plant Moran. Count on us.
This is Ryan Krieger, and at Krieger Ford, we know life's busy. Let us handle your car care. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or have our technicians come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today only at KriegerFord.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Keep your friends close and your producers closer. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a Friday. Hit it, Bake.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
So former Super Bowl winning head coach Bruce Arians, he was on the Athletics series about the mental side of sports. When they had him on there, he was asked about trying to find kickers during the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl winning COVID season, and there was one guy that they reached out to who actually declined the offer.
The other guy I called was Pat McAfee, and I said, "Hey man, you might need a kicker for COVID. Can you kick?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I said, you don't even have to come down here. Just start kicking and get me safe, just in case we lose our kickers. We'll fly you in for the game." He said, "I got to pass a drug test?" I said, "Yep." "Oh, I'm out."
Thing or not a thing?
A thing and both. Right?
Fun thing, right? I mean, it's a funny thing. I love. It's funny how that all shook out. There's not much of a thing to it in terms of it didn't come to fruition, but I do love, and we played some audio from Coach O yesterday about Joe Burrow. Like, I love these old guys that are doing these podcast rounds and telling stories because you hear things that you had never heard before, and I just think I'm into all of it, and so I love Arians sharing that story. That's a good one.
Well, you hear things that you had heard but had never been proven also with some of these things. Yeah. Like Orgeron, front door, back door. That was a great representation of what was going on. Definitely down the Southeastern Conference, you got to think. You know what I'm talking about. You come in through the front door with the money now instead of the back door. So, yeah. I mean, but who knows? It's probably going on everywhere, as the old saying goes. But it's funny I've always been intrigued by how people keep secrets like that. Everybody keeping the secret, right? I mean, it's kind of crazy.
I always said that the biggest dichotomy to me, having covered Southern football and then moving up here, was just I don't think folks up here realize like how small some of those communities are that those Southern programs are in. Yeah. And I always use the analogy that a lot of them are like, I always used to say this about Gainesville, like Gainesville's the firm. Like, don't ever go against the firm, Mitch. I mean, nobody goes against Florida at Florida. You can't get anybody in Gainesville to talk negatively about the Florida Gators in Gainesville. You can't. So how are you going to investigate anything? Meantime, Columbus, Ohio, 3 million people in the metro. Yeah. Not everybody here loves the Buckeyes.
Right.
It's a massive city. It's easy to get to. In the old days when you had to investigate things from the New York Times or the Washington Post or USA Today or whatever it may be, and you come into town from a national perspective, you can fly direct into Columbus. Good luck flying into Auburn.
Bo, I've always said,
good luck flying into Gainesville.
Bo, I've always said, the thing about from being around Ohio State football for 50 years now, but 42 years covering it. It's amazing when something does come out, negative. Then you have people come out of the woodwork,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, what about this? And it's a total different environment. Starkville, Mississippi, compared
that's
to.
Why I would say State College is like the only place. State College is the most SEC university in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Penn State.
Maybe.
In terms of the feel of it. And it's so remote. It's tough to get to. Hard to find people to talk.
Iowa City's like that. Iowa City's a little bit like that,
Just not as big a program.
Right.
It's funny you guys kind of got into that conversation there with everything that's happening right now up in Michigan when all these people were like, oh, we've known about this for 2 months. Right. We've known about this through the summer.
Yeah,
Everybody knew this girl's name.
Old news,
and now that it's been reported. The Franklin County Convention Facilities Authority is advancing a funding plan for the $400 million renovation of Nationwide Arena. It says it's going to be a mix of state, local, and private dollars to modernize the 25-year-old venue. The proposal that came out says that the commission is seeking $100 million from a new state fund dedicated to sports facility improvements. They also plan to issue more than $100 million in public bonds and is asking the city and the county to contribute $25 million each. The remaining costs would be privately financed. The renovation, the plans of which were unveiled earlier this year, is expected to include a redesigned entrance for Nationwide Arena, a large format video display, an outdoor terrace connecting to new food options, updated restrooms, concessions, and an expanded team store, plus new heating and cooling. Thing or not a thing?
Thing.
Yeah, I mean, a thing. So what it looks to me like, so based on this, Bake, it looks like $150 million is coming from public, and then the other $250 is coming private. Is that kind of the math on it? That seems to be kind of the mix that we're finding now when we're either financing new stadiums or renovating older ones that need it. I think it's the best arena in the state of Ohio. I don't think it's particularly close.
Agreed.
I don't know about why you would need a redesigned entrance. I understand why you'd want a bigger team store because it is pretty cramped.
So I believe with that entrance, Bo, what they're planning on doing, because you kind of know how that main entrance is, and the team store is there on the left.
Yeah.
They're going to pull the whole entrance out to equal where that team store is and make that covered so people don't have to stand outside. And then they're going to have like restaurants and bars up top there, some of which will have patio seating, so you can look out over the arena district.
I got you.
I'm for. It's a lot cheaper to upgrade something than to build something brand new somewhere else, and plus you would have to leave a void in the middle of wherever that was. I just saw this story in the Houston Chronicle about they're floating the idea of renovating or bringing up to code the Astrodome, which was built, by the way, for $24 million way back in the mid-1960s. It's going to cost them $1 billion plus to bring it back.
What are they going to use it for?
Well, that's the point. I mean, you could actually build a hotel in the middle of the Astrodome. You know what I mean? All these things, but that's what they're debating: renovate it, bring it up to code, or tear it down. And it was the eighth wonder of the world at one point, according to everybody. So the thing is, you either have to keep something up to code and maybe ahead of the game, or get rid of it, and eventually that comes. But I think this is a bargain when you look at the price. Of course, that's the going-in price. What's the coming-out price will be a total different number.
All right. Final hour of the program coming up next. Our good buddy Doug Lesmerises coming up at 11:30. What did we get mostly right? What did we get mostly wrong this college football season? We will get into that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
All the Ohio State conversation you can handle. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Your Ohio State flagship station. The Fan.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time, Sam.
Temperatures are dropping, but the deals are just getting hot.
Time for our annual Ford Holiday Gift Guide.
Oh, yeah.
Hard to go wrong with great deals on trucks and SUVs from Ford, America's all-time best-selling auto brand.
Don't forget the first rule of holiday gift giving, Hank.
What's that, Sam?
Always remember to treat yourself, too.
Well said.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance.
Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. It's cold here in Central Ohio. You know that, Columbus. And if you spent last winter thinking you need new windows, but you didn't want to spend the money, well, it's a good thing you waited. Because right now, during Window Nation's end-of-year sale, you can get 50% off, plus get 0% interest for 5 years. Not only could you get affordable custom windows, but shorter wait times mean you'll get them fast. And Window Nation will install them in one day while keeping your home warm and dry. Once they're installed, your new windows instantly stop those cold, wintry drafts better than the big-name brands. They also seal out moisture and are so energy efficient, you'll actually save money on your monthly utility bills. Plus, they're backed with a lifetime warranty. With such great windows and service, it's no wonder Window Nation has over 45,000 five-star reviews and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Window Nation's end-of-year sale is your chance to save big with 50% off all window styles, plus 0% financing for 5 years. The sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com now to get started. Window Nation, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Millions of fans agree. This Christmas tradition rocks. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert, presenting The Ghosts of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. December 23rd, 2 shows, Nationwide Arena. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Trans-Siberian Orchestra. A portion of the proceeds benefits the James and Heather Pick Music Program.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
El Dorado Scioto Downs is your Caesars Rewards destination. And big news, Scioto Downs has been chosen to host the prestigious Breeders' Crown in 2026, featuring 12 championship races. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem, call 1-800-589-9966. Visit Caesars.com/Scioto Downs for details.
Matty Ice here. The end of the year has almost arrived, so it's the perfect time to head up to McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion, where the savings are rolling all month long. You can lease a brand new 26 Chevy Equinox for just $225 a month for 36 months with $4,369 due at signing. Or if financing is more your style, grab it for only $225 a month for 84 months with $1,000 due at signing. Certain restrictions apply. They're just off Route 23 on 95 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Ryan Baker. Former Michigan head football coach Sherrone Moore remains in police custody, awaiting arraignment on assault charges after he was fired. Sounds like he will appear in court sometime around 1 o'clock this afternoon. Boone Jenner made his return after missing 15 games and scored a goal. That couldn't stop the Blue Jackets from losing their 4th straight, falling to Ottawa 6-3 last night over at Nationwide. Rough night for Elvis. He gets pulled after allowing 3 goals on the first 5 shots he faced. The Jackets back at home tomorrow night when they host Vegas at 7. The 21st ranked OSU women's basketball team improved to 8-1. They beat Northern Kentucky 94-62. What a night from Jelani Cambridge. She scores 33. Her sister Kennedy, what a game on defense. She has 10 steals. And Kirk Cousins throws for 373 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Falcons beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 29-28.
Sports conversation that's worthy of a toast, or at least a stiff drink. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bake, do we have final hour here, by the way, here on the first non-football Friday? I mean, it's still football Friday. I mean, the beloved Bobcats play tonight in the 1AA playoff. By the way,
there we go.
Yeah, they're both. Yeah, they play tonight. I think at 9 o'clock. The Bobcats do. The my brother's beloved Grizzlies tomorrow.
Where is that?
North Dakota State got bounced.
Yeah,
North Dakota State got bounced, defending champs. So it's like kind of wide open. You're gonna, and I think South Dakota State's out too. So you're gonna get a brand new champion in 1AA.
Where is that game? Where is that game tonight? By the way,
Bozeman.
Wow, that'll be nice.
Well, here's what's crazy. I was talking to my dad about this, Tim. I think it's like 50 degrees there.
I know. Fella, we're in a weird time warp right now when it comes to weather. You know, I mean,
yeah,
you're
here
feeling the backside of
Tim.
something. It's good. Go ahead.
Yeah, Montana's tonight. It's Stephen F. Austin against Montana State in Bozeman. It'll be 46 degrees at kick.
By the way, that's my baby brother Tony, who's going to be 68. That's his alma mater, Stephen F. Austin. I went there for 1 semester and decided I already knew everything and didn't need to go anymore. From Nacogdoches, Texas.
In a way, this is me against you.
Yeah,
me versus the May family.
I never thought about that because I covered some SFA games when I was a sports editor of the Lufkin News. And by the way, Jim Trussell took Youngstown State. I think they even played a game down there one time, and you had to fly into like Longview and then bus down to Nacogdoches. But that should be a good game because Nacogdoches, Stephen F. Austin's got a really nice program, as you well know.
I do well know, yeah. So that one is tonight. Beck, do we have obligations from a sponsorship perspective to play Know the Scores today?
I don't think we do, but I mean, if we're going to talk about it, I love to just hear the music.
Let's go ahead.
It's time for Know the Scores on Bishop and Friends.
Sponsored by Buckeye Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
No
That's
scores.
beautiful.
It is beautiful. No scores to know this week as we're out of the Division One. You've got Army, Navy, and a bunch of 1AA games over the weekend. D2 and D3, of course, going as well. I'll tell you what, Bake.
Who do you like, Army, Navy?
We'll get to that.
Okay. Sorry.
I'll tell you this, Bake. We knew the scores pretty well. So last week I ended up 4-5. So I think we mimicked. We both went 4-5.
Correct.
I ended up 93-68, picking when the Buckeyes played, obviously the 11 biggest games of every college football weekend against the number. Ended up 93-68. You had a great year
and
too.
I was right behind you. I was at 90-71. So I struggled a little bit down the stretch, but got off to a hot start, and we rode that the rest of the way.
Tim, what is if you go back to July, August? What is one thing that you thought would happen this year in college football that didn't? In other words, what is something that you got most wrong?
It's funny because there's a bunch, but most wrong probably. I didn't buy into the hype of Arch Manning because I knew he was going to. I thought there were some things there that needed to get ironed out with just the way, for example, he plays, right? And when he came in here sidearming and flippy dipping like Patrick Mahomes, I went, wow, they've got a long way to go for this guy to even be an all SEC quarterback, much less Heisman Trophy winner. But I thought Texas would find its way. I don't think Texas, they beat Texas A&M, but other than that, really, what'd they do for you, right? So, so Texas and then Penn State, I knew Penn State would be limited finally in the final analysis because I was never sold on Drew Allar as a big game quarterback. But the way they fell off the beam and kept falling surprised me, stunned me. So those were the two that I got wrong in terms of what I anticipated seeing as the season played out.
How about you, Beck?
Well, I mean, the one is very obvious, right? And it was colossal, the one that I got wrong. And I thought Clemson was going to be great this year. I thought they were a team that could win the national championship. 82% of their production coming back, first-round draft picks on their defense, 2 supposedly on their defensive line. Klubnik, his numbers were so good last year, and he just never got any better. He probably regressed, and there were issues with Clemson from the start. And I thought Clemson was going to be a team that could win a national title, and they obviously couldn't have been any further from that.
Yeah, you kind of talked me into them too, and I remember in the off season, a lot of the buzz around Clemson's, the way people viewed Clemson had a lot to do with the way that Klubnik played in the loss,
right,
at Texas. It was like, oh, he played well in a loss. Maybe there's more there.
And the schedule was easy.
And the schedule was cake. Yeah, it was. And by the way, didn't they beat LSU?
Here's the thing, Bo.
In the opener?
No, they lost to LSU. It was close. I think it was like 17
that's right.
to 10.
It was a close game. Yeah, they lost. But watching that first game, you weren't like, oh, this season's going down the tank for them. And then they just kept losing and losing and losing.
Yeah.
So that's one that jumped out to me that I was definitely not on that side of. And I would have.
LSU's went down the tank too, by the way. Go ahead.
They did. If you would have told me in August that not only would Penn State miss the playoff, but that James Franklin would be fired before Ohio State played Penn State, I would have said you were nuts.
I didn't know we were going to get that deep into the autopsy, but you're exactly right.
There's no way, Tim.
You're exactly right.
The idea that those walls that were built up on that foundation were so flimsy,
yes,
that it crumbled like that.
Yeah,
he was there a decade,
dude. They played crazy. They could have gotten to the national championship game last year with one more play. I mean. And now all of a sudden he doesn't know anything about anything. I mean, But I told you, man, the last time I was over there covering the game, what was that, last year when they got beat by Ohio State? The rancor among the ranks of the people screaming obscene stuff at this guy as he ran off the field and then screaming to each other as they were leaving the stadium. I went, boy, paradise is not what you thought it would be.
No.
I mean, it was definitely palpable. And you're right. It's almost like they literally were looking for that one moment where they could jump off the James Franklin Bridge, and they did that this year. And wow, just crazy. And then you thought they had a big plan in mind to replace him, right? When you do that as early as they did, as Urban Meyer said, well, evidently somebody's got a plan there. No, they didn't have a plan. They didn't have a plan that was viable, and they end up taking the 10th or 11th guy they looked at.
Did you realize, you maybe did, I didn't until towards the end of their search. I had a couple of buddies who are Penn State alumnus and one who's pretty well involved. And then we talked to Rich Scarcella and Dave Jones when he was we talked to those guys about. I had no idea what a mess the Jay Paterno faction is over there.
Oh, yeah.
And how much of a hindrance that has been to that program moving forward. I just had no idea that he was that active. I knew he was on the board, but I had no idea that he was kind of almost working counter to almost everything going on over there.
Kind of like Bear Bryant's son, remember? Who I don't.
So he was in the same spot?
Yeah, but kind of a similar kind of deal. But, he's the one that didn't allow Jimbo Fisher, UAB, if you remember correctly, UAB offered Jimbo Fisher a really good contract to be their head coach way back when. Mm-hmm. And I think Saban wanted Jimbo Fisher back with him at Alabama after Saban had come over from the Miami Dolphins, and they basically quashed the UAB offer. But instead of Jimbo joining Saban, he went to become the coach in waiting with Bowden. So,
I didn't realize that Bear's kid was involved in that.
Yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of things that go on behind the scenes that are really interesting because you're trying to steer things one way or the other. And that's why, Lane Kiffin, people can knock him for jumping, but when the governor of the state, forget about the athletic director, when the governor of the state is making things happen for you, the governor of Mississippi can't really do that, right? Because he's got two schools. But Louisiana's like Ohio State in the sense of LSU is the school in the state, even though they've got other schools. And so that's why you kind of jump on board the power train.
I'll tell you something that I assumed they would be good. I assumed that they were a team. I knew they'd be a team of consequence when they landed Mendoza. I knew that they were aligned because he was one of the guys. And so I knew that, okay, they've got a NIL front that's locked in. They are rowing in the same direction. So when they landed him, I thought, okay, there ain't anybody who thought as we enter the college football playoff, Indiana would be Big Ten champion, likely Heisman Trophy winner, and the number one overall seed.
Tim May said even on these airwaves way back in late spring and summer when I was getting to come on and do some things because all you guys are taking PTO, that I thought Indiana was going to be better than it was a year ago. That doesn't mean based on their schedule, they had a tough row to hoe based on their schedule. It may not show in their one loss, but I thought they were going to be better for several reasons. But the main one was they had a playmaker at quarterback now in Mendoza. Major upgrade there. And boy, did it carry them. So I'm not taking credit, but that's a hell of a football team I watched last week.
Yeah, it's one thing, and I think you could look and say they might be better, but I think that was kind of the common refrain was they might be better, but the record might not be.
Correct.
Right? And then they go to Oregon and win, and then you go in, okay.
Dominated. Fourth quarter. Dominated.
Then it was like, oh, okay. And then the SEC this year has been just it's just been nuts to see how that all tracked out, and then inevitably Georgia being able to take it. And that's what we're going to get into coming up next. Okay. College football playoff field is set. What we like about it, what did Tim think of the process? What did they get right? What did they get wrong? We'll get into all of that coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Warm up this winter by pushing a button with a remote car starter from Columbus Car Audio and Accessories. Step into a toasty and defrosted car and share the warmth with everyone on your shopping list. Beat winter weather with Columbus Car Audio and Accessories. Morse Road, Main Street in Reynoldsburg, or columbuscaraudio.com.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
These savings are so good. Right now, get low lease payments on every model, like a new 2026 Elantra SE for just $119 a month for 24 months. Plus, get owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Go now. Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.95 down plus taxes, fees, first month payment. 12K miles per year. Ends 1/2/26.
'Tis the season to not feel groggy. I know that's not how the song goes, but it's how the rush of the holidays can make us feel. Eric Reeser here and my friends at Hydrate Me Med Spa have the goods to keep you looking and feeling your best as the year comes to an end. 4 convenient locations in Central Ohio offering medical-grade IV and aesthetic treatments. If you're like me and get a little queasy at the thought of an IV, not a big needle person, I get it. But their staff of incredible certified nurse practitioners makes the process easy. Get your body ready for a successful holiday season by booking your drip today at hydratememedspa.com.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
The Christmas cash giveaways now at United Dairy Farmers. Registered U drivers who buy specially marked products like hot breakfast sandwiches, fresh apple fritters, iced coffee, Coke, and Pepsi can play to win prizes instantly, like freebies, $1,000 each week, and the $15,000 grand prize. Because at UDF is made for you. No purchase necessary. Visit udrivecontest.com for official rules.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like Chew This Gum and It Grows New Teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. I'm Sam Weather Impact Meteorologist Michael Behrens with your latest forecast. Temperatures in the mid-30s this afternoon with some sunshine poking through. We'll be down into the upper 20s tonight with heavy snow expected Saturday. 10 TV Weather Impact Alert Day for the second half of the day as multiple inches of snowfall are expected to fall. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. The uncle you never knew you had. The friends you kind of wish you didn't. This is Bishop and Friends.
Indeed it is, and playoff time means brackets. Mountain Dew and the Fan are giving you a shot at $500 in our college football bracket contest. Just fill out your 12-team bracket before the first game kicks off on December 19th. Enter now at 971thefan.com. What did you make of what Notre Dame attempted to do this week, Tim, in the fallout of being left out of the college football playoff? I know.
You get when you sign up for something, you got to read the fine print, right? And the fine print was that this could definitely happen to them. The idea that Tulane and James Madison had anything to do with is folly. So bottom line is they got kind of what they had coming to them in the sense of it was delayed justice, but it was justice in the sense that Miami beat that team. You know what I mean? Yeah. And all things being equal, other than that, and who define equal, right? When it comes to the committee deciding this team is better than that team. But I thought Yurchek made it kind of clear that after Brigham Young was removed from between Miami and Notre Dame in the considerations, the pods, whatever you want to call it out there, the quads.
Just utter nonsense.
Then, wait a minute. Hey, let's look at Notre Dame's results list. It says Miami beat them. Okay, Miami's in. Here's the thing. Alabama has no business being in this playoff, in my opinion. And I grew up a huge Alabama fan, and my baby brother Tony is going to be 68. It still cries when they get beat or paces. But the bottom line, Alabama is not an elite team by any stretch. No. I think Notre Dame is a better team than Alabama. But, we know what happens about the Southeastern Conference. It just means more. It just means more, from a financial standpoint of getting a fifth team or whatever in the playoff, fourth team in the playoff. It's a joke that Alabama's in it, in my opinion.
Yeah, two things on that.
Same as last year.
On the Notre Dame side of it, I thought it was so hilarious how that committee acted like they couldn't compare Miami and Notre Dame until BYU was eliminated.
Right.
I'm looking at them as they're saying that. I'm going like, hey, dummies, you're putting it together. Yeah. You can rank BYU arbitrarily wherever the hell you want.
Bingo.
Move them around wherever you want. That was just such an insane thing, Bake. Go ahead.
Real quick, while we're talking about BYU, why don't they have any gripe here in this?
I'll give you the answer.
I'll
give you the answer.
I get it, but they have 2 losses to the team that the committee says is the number 4 team in this. That's better. If we're comparing losses, which I love to do, that's better than a loss to Miami or a loss to Texas A&M.
Or Florida State. Alabama. This came down to just really simple, and it just was this simple. They had 2 choices. They were either going to piss off an entire conference, or they were going to piss off one school. That was the choice. That was the choice they had to make. And so BYU is easy to eliminate because you can piss them off. It ain't going to make any difference. You don't ever need BYU in the playoff. But Tim, you know this, and I tell people up this, and I believe it wholeheartedly. The SEC, that conference is so delusional that they would, if they got to the point where they said, you know what? We're going to take our ball and go home. We don't need the college football playoff. We're going to do our own SEC champion. And you tell me if I'm wrong, most of their fans down there would be fine with that.
Yeah.
They would be fine with it. And that's the thing that the College Football Committee, ESPN, all of them, they could not after last year. And again, I had Notre Dame number 7, Tim, on my final list. I really think they're good. I don't think anybody wanted to play them. I would have had them as the number 7 team in this thing.
Yeah, wouldn't have been a debate.
Were doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also am not an idiot, and I've been around this sport long enough to know that politics are involved in all of it, and you have to follow the money. And there was just no way that they were going to, at least from the perception of the Southeastern Conference, stick it to them again.
I know I'm going to, whenever you say something like I'm going to say, I know it. I will end up, eating crow. The Southeastern Conference does not have, in my opinion, this year and did not have last year, that super elite team. I know how Georgia played at the end of the season. I still think they're limited to a certain extent at quarterback. I'll probably eat crow on that, but and then defensively they can be had by a team that can throw the ball to more than one guy. And I'm just saying. So that's their prime team going into the playoffs, and so. But this idea that they are head and shoulders,
they're not
better football than what's being played in the Big Ten. I mean, the Big Ten has 5 of the top 3 teams in the it's three of the top five teams in the playoff, and I think that's accurate. I mean, I really truly believe that's accurate. And but this idea that but then the SEC, because they're all a little bit above mediocre, you know, in terms of, I'm talking about when you're comparing elite programs, that's not the case this year. It wasn't the case last year. So that's where I come down on it. I mean, they get this run that they don't deserve because one team rises up and beats the other. Well, that's because there is no great team down there. I mean, Georgia is as close as you've got, and they did win games when they needed to win games, but they had trouble. You know, I mean, I could go on and on
point
about
is made. Here's what I would say.
I could go on and on about it. Go ahead.
I think you can look yourself in the mirror and say there are 3 Big Ten teams who can win the national title.
Yeah.
I think all 3 of them can.
Yes.
I don't know that any in the SEC can. I guess Georgia's the most likely, but I don't think any of them are. And I think the other thing that's happened to that conference is, and this part's real, is they have been affected majorly by the NIL. And there are some of those big-time powerhouses down there that do not have the slush funds that some of these other places do, and so new powers are rising, and whether A&M can maintain it or not will be interesting, but they have unlimited funds, as you know. That situation at Texas Tech, how many of those kids would have been at an SEC school?
Yeah.
And the other thing that happened in the SEC is, because of NIL, kids aren't sitting and waiting anymore. Like, you're not going to sit and wait as a 5-star at Alabama. You're going to go play at Tennessee, and then you can transfer somewhere else. So, that has absolutely undercut the top level of the Southeastern Conference. It can't be ignored.
I'll tell you what, the way Texas Tech got its act together in this deal, and it only takes one guy, right? I mean, it's the right guy. But, I mean, they came down after Ohio State had that really good softball season last year. Kieran Kumar, the coach. I mean, Texas Tech came in and basically took that I'm trying to remember her name now, but this great.
She was at Stanford.
Exactly. The great catcher. No, I mean, Texas Tech.
You're talking about the picture.
I'm talking about the catcher. I'm talking about the catcher.
Women's softball all of a sudden.
No, but I'm just saying.
Ohio State catcher.
No, the Ohio State catcher. I'm talking about.
How are you paying attention? How do you know about an Ohio State catcher?
Because I did a bunch of, I did several, because I really was intrigued by Ohio State. The way they started hitting home runs and stuff last year was amazing. But then Texas Tech came in, swooped in, and got their star catcher, just like in baseball. Remember, Texas Tech ended up with it's crazy what they've done with finally things being legal about NIL, et cetera. They've been able to go around the country and cherry pick a bunch of that football team they put together is crazy. I mean, it's
really good. They can win it.
It is a really good football team that's going to scare some people. I mean, if not win it.
They can win it. I think
absolutely.
They're one of the teams that can win
it. That Rodriguez guy is crazy. And then you got the other guy, Ben Roberts. Boy, did he have a day last week against BYU on defense and stuff. They got offense and defense. So
the only loss they have is when their quarterback was out against Arizona State.
Correct.
That's it.
Correct. And then look at Vanderbilt. Look what Vanderbilt's done. Look how they swooped in and got Jared Curtis at the last second there, the number 1 quarterback in the 2026 class who wants to be part of what's going on at Vanderbilt. Who wanted to be part of what was going on at Vanderbilt 3 years ago,
Well, remember, Tim is retired. He can go cover Ohio State softball if he wants.
Softball. I'm like,
but it was major.
I get your point.
Set an Ohio State record for home runs, and now she's at Texas Tech.
I have no idea of any of that. I'm not
okay. I'm sorry.
Those waters, brother. So
I'm sorry,
guys. I know we went off on a whole thing here with the SEC and all of that. The only thing that I will say about all this, and Bo, I don't care about this. I don't think any of these teams at the bottom should be in. It shouldn't be this big. I never want to compare losses. I don't care all about that. Notre Dame's best win is USC.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama beat
Navy.
Georgia.
They beat Navy too.
Yeah.
They beat Georgia. Like that's
That's
a much better win. Does that make Alabama a better football team than Notre Dame? I don't know. I probably don't think so.
Bo, you answer this before I do. Go ahead. No, I was extremely disappointed with the way Alabama showed up in the SEC championship game. And if it's because they already knew they were in or whatever excuse those Alabama fans like to say, they were not competitive against Georgia.
Yeah, I think in the end you're going to split hairs, and it is going to come down to that best versus most deserving conversation. Mm-hmm. My eyes that have watched a lot of football, my eyes would tell me that Notre Dame is better than Alabama.
I agree.
But I've also covered college football for 25 plus years now, and I also understand how it works. And I think Notre Dame has no one to blame but themselves for all of it. because of the way that they continue to choose to go about their business. And as long as you're going to schedule the way they schedule and partner with the ACC the way that they do,
amen,
they're going to leave it up to other folks.
Amen.
And so they don't have a margin for error, but it's of their own doing.
When Bavacqua had his statement this week, and I just retweeted, not that anybody cares, but I tweeted the fact if they had been in the ACC this year, they would now be in the playoff.
And so would Miami, because they would have played in the conference championship game.
Exactly. So you get, finally comes around to bite you. You get what you reap. We're independent. We're so much better than everybody else. We deserve our own seat at the CFP table and stuff. My opinion has long been, no, you don't. And finally, but next year, what'd you see, that memorandum of understanding?
Yeah.
That if they're in the top 12, they are in no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. Doug Lesmerises in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Picture it, your holiday table, the family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps. This season at Kroger, make the moments that matter possible with quality that's affordable in every aisle. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's a great time to save on 2 packs of Kroger butter. 16-ounce packages are on sale for only $5.99 each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Get Eco.
ECO. Aaron, are we still doing that crazy thing you said?
Which crazy thing do you mean, Jerry?
The one where we give away up to $1,500 in free repairs on furnaces?
Get Eco.
ECO.
Yes, Jerry, we'll be doing that $1,500 giveaway from now on.
But why? It's crazy.
People are being told they need a whole new furnace when all they really need is a minor repair.
So we're saying they should call Eco to repair it and keep repairing it until someday when they really do need a new HVAC system.
We'll give them back all the money they paid us to fix their old furnace and air conditioner.
When they let us install the new ones.
All those extra years of service that they squeezed out of their old furnace and air conditioner become a free gift from Eco.
Does any other company do this?
Of course not, Jerry. It's crazy.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Generous plumbers, Merry Christmas electricians, and buy a kid a new toy this year, HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
The Lindsay Honda year-end clearance is on. Enjoy the lowest prices of the season on hundreds of new in-stock Hondas, like 2026 Civic Sport Hybrid Sedan or 2026 HR-V LX front-wheel drive. Your choice, just $299 a month. Remember, our goal is 100% credit approval. Shop our Honda Wonderland now and save big.
From our family to yours, Merry Christmas.
Happy Honda
Clearance on select 2025 models only. Visit lindsayhonda.com for details.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
First Friday miracles are always better with Uncle Bo. This is Bishop and Friends.
Indeed it is. He is the host of the Bill and Doug Show on YouTube. The Substack is Bill and Doug, OSU.substack.com. He just did something I want to talk to you about a little bit in a minute here, buddy, comparing a second 10 years war here, which I saw you and Bill did, which I'm very intrigued about. But I do want to start big picture with the University of Michigan, and it's in ruins, all of it. And I don't know where they go from here. As you've watched this story kind of unfold this week, what is kind of your take on it all?
Yeah, it's interesting. Someone brought this up to me a couple hours ago. What Ohio State did, obviously it was May when Jim Tressel resigned in 2011 and Luke Fickell took over as an interim. Would that make sense? Like, just take a breath, reset. Biff Poggi has been a head coach before. Like, it's hard, though. Like, you're going to punt Bryce Underwood's second year, right? Like, that kind of thing. But I don't know if they might just need to step back and, like, try to figure out who they are, what they want to be, who they want leading this program. Because if it's away from the Harbaugh tree, it's a complete reset, and it's a 10-year hire or a 20-year hire. Because if you rush this thing, you have a chance to start heading back down the Rich Rod Brady Hoke road here, right? Mm-hmm. And they've been good for a decade. And if they aren't careful, they can make a bad situation worse. Because right now, I mean, it's bad. So when it's bad, what do? Do you hurry up and look for a savior, or do you, like, take a breath, especially if maybe people are thinking, is your AD going to be around?
Yeah, but the bottom line is, can't you do that if you bring in an older head coach, for example, who's been a head coach, who kind of knows how to get a program back on its feet or add some stability there? By the way, I didn't realize you were on the Titanic after it started to sink today.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, that's okay, man. Everybody needs a survivor. But the bottom line is, aren't you better off at least, like I think Bo pointed out, Brian Kelly's 64. There's a guy that's out there, whether you like him or not, has run programs. I mean, don't they need somebody from the outside coming in to help clean up the mess?
But then, are you sure you want Brian Kelly for 10 years?
Well, I don't think.
Are you sure Brian Kelly is going to go silently into the night when you're done with him? If in 3 years he's getting his butt kicked?
Well,
I don't.
You got to roll the dice, I think. I don't know.
Why? You're in disarray.
Because
the ship is
Biff Poggi is he going to retain all the guys that are about to jump the ship? I mean, you understand where I'm going there. I'm not just making fun of his name. I mean, matter of fact, I thought they called better offense when he was in charge. Go ahead.
Well, but the thing is, there's a negative to the portal. It must be considered. What if you lose Bryce Underwood? What if you lose Andrew Marsh? What if you lose the freshman left tackle? I get that.
Yeah.
But then also the portal also gives. So if you get the right guy when it's time, then you can rebuild a roster in offseason. You can get 70 transfers if you need to, right? So, I don't know. Am I rushing into Brian Kelly? I don't know if I am, man. Okay. I don't know if I am.
Who would you rush in? I mean,
I think, guys, what this comes down to is a philosophical. In this era that we're in now, and Marcus Freeman, ironically enough, benefited from this the most because ironically, it was Brian Kelly. And the reason that Marcus got that job, he was only there for a year, but the reason he got the job, he was incredibly popular, incredibly charismatic, and they had to keep that roster intact. And that was their number one priority. And that's why the Lane Kiffin thing happened the way that it happened. That's why all these coaching hires happened the way that they happened, because everyone panics on the roster. And I do think this will be kind of a test pattern because they have crisis. They don't have a president. They may not have an athletic director. They definitely don't have a coach. They may take a longer. It's going to be an interesting case study on how, the two different paths, Doug, because I think you're right. I think there are two different ways. You can stop gap it and just try to stay above float and try to be relevant next year. But if it's a systemic problem, then it's a reset. And then in that instance, you can't miss.
Right. But there's just probably a group of coaches who maybe would take that job but aren't going to take it in the next week.
Right.
So I don't. And
Agreed.
If you are resetting away from the Harbaugh tree, part of the deal with Marcus is you want to retain the roster, but also you want to keep that guy in the building, right? There's always the idea of when the tragedy happened at Northwestern 20 years ago and Pat Fitzgerald's sitting there. It's like, is he ready? I don't know, but he's going to be someday. We got to keep this guy in the building. You got to keep Marcus Freeman in the building. You want people out of the building at Michigan right now. You don't want to retain what has been there. You want a clean break. So if you're clean breaking and it's blank sheet, blank slate, let's go. You take this program, new coach, wherever you want to take it. And the new coach is, the 7 best candidates all re-signed new deals in the last month,
right,
thanks to the Penn State job. So I don't know. Matt Campbell was sitting there for Penn State. If Penn State had finished their search in a more, in a cleaner way and didn't have to get the Matt Campbell, we might be sitting here saying Michigan should hire Matt Campbell tomorrow.
Yeah.
But since Matt Campbell's gone, who is that? I don't have somebody in my head who is yep, that's the guy who can get fast and also be a 10-year.
Yeah, but think about this. You're talking about him cleaning house, and yet you don't have somebody in your head who can then come in and re-clean the house.
I want to take it. That's why I want to take a year and think about it.
But you got to have somebody running the house. Somebody's got to, you got to have a guy at the cleaning the kitchen and everything. I mean, so where you go? I mean, the interesting thing is what you just pointed out without pointing it out, saying it out loud is we don't even know who's going to hire. We don't know who's going to be in charge of hiring, right? I mean,
absolutely.
It's really at a critical moment. Not that Michigan's going to stay this way, but right now. Wow, there's no bigger mess in college football, maybe over the last 10 years than what we're looking at right now.
Right. I agree. So maybe, I don't know, maybe there's a savior, right? I always bring up Mike Tomlin. I want to see Mike Tomlin in college, right? Maybe there's a savior. I don't know.
Well, I like him a lot.
if there's not, if it's not something like that, if it's not you're getting DeBoer to come north, like if it's not something where it's like, okay, this is great, then I'm not so sure that taking a breath isn't the best idea.
Yeah, it's such a massive decision that they're in now, and it's not lost on me, especially as we live in a world where everybody kind of lives their own truth in their own silos and reject sound from otherwise. But this is all Harbaugh legacy, all of it is, and up there he's Danny Ocean, right? Like he stole from the MGM Grand and the Mirage and all of them at once and got away with all of it and took Tony Benedict's money. But the reality is that from everybody else in college football, it's like, my God, what did they reap what they sowed up there?
House of Cards is what it turned into.
Yeah.
But we were talking about this on our show. You think I was like crafting the scenario of what if Jim Harbaugh comes in after the 2021 win over Ohio State, instead of saying third base, says, you know what a great rivalry. Ryan Day is a great coach. It's an honor to compete against Ohio State. They're the measuring stick. We got over the hump against them. I look forward to competing against the Buckeyes for the next decade. This is the best of college football. And if Connor Stallions have been dorking around, it kicks him out of the building. And maybe you don't get a national championship. Maybe you don't elevate, but you are Michigan. You lean into being a Michigan man, right? Instead, I call it the curse of third base. Instead, because guess who else started on third base and now doesn't have a job, right?
Yeah.
It's like, we can pretend that inheriting a good program is easy. I don't think Sherrone Moore showed otherwise. So he didn't do that. He did this, but it led to a national championship and then the destruction of the program. Which one would you take? Would you take being Michigan, being upstanding Michigan, competing at the highest level, but not getting over the top? But maybe Jim Harbaugh's still there. You still have pride in what you are, but you don't have a title. Or would you take the way it turned out? Because it's right. It's Shakespearean. It's a Greek tragedy.
Yeah.
You sold your soul to get what you want and lost who you are.
It's kind of like do you buy the hottest stock going, thinking it's going to keep rising, or do you invest in an nice interest bearing account that 10 years from now is really going to pay dividends?
It's not that. It's do you insider trade for the big money?
Well, there you go.
And then go to jail.
That's kind of what I was insinuating.
Live a great life and then you go to jail. Yeah. I mean, that's what it is.
Bo defines Michigan football. Everybody associated with Michigan football, and we know the doctor scandal after we know that. But on the football field, everybody associated with Michigan says what Bo Schembechler did, that's what we want to be, right? No national titles.
Right.
No national titles. But
Correct.
You're a Michigan man. The team. You are something, right? So, they had a chance to be that, and instead they got this. They had the greatest season in Michigan history, 15-0, national title. And this is what they had to pay the piper for. Was it worth it?
Yeah, I tell you what, our mutual friend John U. Bacon will write the book, and it'll be interesting to see how what the answer to that is. Doug, I'll get you out of here on this one. Is there, as in the wake, as last Friday at this time, we said, look, and you take the Buckeye part out of it, and you say the best thing for the Big Ten would probably be for Indiana to win that game. I asked you that question in terms of legitimizing all of it, and they did. What is kind of your takeaway as we head into the playoff after what happened Saturday over in Indianapolis and then going forward?
Yeah, my takeaway is there are 5 teams with a chance to win the national title. 3 of them are from the Big Ten, and 1 of them's from the SEC. It's reaffirmation of what the Big Ten is. I think it's a very difficult thing for Ohio State fans. If you said 10 years ago, hey, the 2 teams competing at the top of the league with Ohio State are Indiana and Oregon. How about that? Their heads would explode. But do you want that? Right? Again, we all lived through the era when nobody in the Big Ten could compete with Ohio State. And if somebody could, it was either Michigan or Penn State. Now you have these 2 outliers who have beaten Ohio State the last 2 years, Oregon and Indiana. Is it wonderful? Are you proud of your conference, or does it make you nuts that somebody beat you? Right? Again, it's like, what do you want? I think it's good to have a strong conference, and then you risk yourself sometimes. But I think we have a shot at Indiana, Ohio State rematch in the national title game, and if it's not Indiana, Ohio State, my pick is actually Ohio State, Oregon.
Yep. Me too.
And wouldn't that be fun?
Yes.
So Ohio State's still the favorite. They have a chance to fix the things that didn't work. Tell you what, man, I think the Big Ten's in pretty good shape, and so is Ohio State.
Yeah. Good stuff, buddy, as always. Thanks for your time. Great talking to you.
Thanks, fellas.
All right, there he goes. Doug Lesmerises, the Bill and Doug Show on YouTube. Bill and Doug, OSU.substack.com. Him and Bill did a piece on a second version of the 10-year war you ought to check out. It's just an interesting way to look at the last 10 years of this rivalry. We'll get you three things on a Friday up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
Check off the wish list with instant savings and free battery offers on select steel tools. Shop online or in store.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
The water's standing in the tub. My toilets will not flush. The smell's getting bad in here. I need help in a rush.
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain or you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free. Guaranteed.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles. Drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products, and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
I wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. It makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road at Grove City.
The Jackets are back at Nationwide for a battle with Vegas. Live fan coverage starts Saturday night at 6:30.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Heating and Cooling.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Fan.
Imagine the perfect chicken tender. Crispy, juicy, for lack of a better word, tendery. Now imagine these perfect tenders at Wendy's. Because they are. Wendy's new chicken tenders are here with delicious new dipping sauces like Wendy's Signature, Creamy Ranch, and Honey Barbecue. And they're so good, we even changed our name from Wendy's to Tendies. I believe that's what the kids call manifesting. For Tendies you're going to know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's.
Hey, it's Matty Ice. Are you in need of a dependable truck for the long winter months ahead? Well, then my buddies at McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion have just what you're looking for at the best price around. You can lease a brand new 26 Chevy Silverado 1500 for just $339 a month for 36 months with $1,379 due at signing, or you can save up to $15,000 off MSRP if you finance. Certain restrictions apply. They're just off Route 23 on 95 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
If you say something with enough confidence, it must be true. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, Beck, what do we have in the poll today?
The Daily Fan Poll over at 971thefan.com. How many bowl games should there be? 40 to 30, 10 to 20, or just the CFP? 10 to 20 is winning right now with 56.3% of the vote.
And I put one on my own social media channels, and this was based on a conversation. It was long going between Bob and I and a listener, Chris in Indiana. Is Caleb Downs one of the starting safeties on the all-time Ohio State starting 11? 3 minutes left in the poll. Overwhelmingly, yes, 93.6%, 6.4%. I think it's between him, Doss, and Jack Tatum. Those would be the three for me. Tim, where would you come down on Caleb? Who, by the way, he spilled the beans on it that he won the Thorpe on the podcast he does with his brother.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it. Number one, Caleb Downs and who, and so I'm going for one season. Malik Hooker was as good a safety as I've ever seen at Ohio State in terms of just running down balls. I mean, he'd be the guy playing on the back.
Hedging? Are you going to hedge?
No, he'd be the guy on the backside running down, throwing footballs.
So you got Caleb and Malik?
Yeah, I'd have Caleb and Malik because I don't know how you beat that combination.
He was unbelievable the 1 year.
I feel like it could be like two different questions, like impact shortest and then career. Because like career, it's tough to not have Mike Doss on there, right?
For sure.
Correct.
Jack Tatum also was a difference maker.
He was a quasi, Tatum was like more of like a rover kind of, the guy, but there was a different style of football back then. I'm talking about in college football. So I think Caleb offers you so many options. Heck, he's been playing linebacker about a third of the time, it seems like this year, and but I just like what Hooker, final guy back there on the backside, throw the ball over this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
I think we can all agree, though, that Caleb is the best to do it here.
I don't know.
He's the best.
Well, yeah.
I think that's fair.
I think he brings so much to the table before he even starts playing. So
I think if you were when you're putting the all-time defense together, you're going to say, yeah, we need Caleb Downs in that 11.
You're going to want that guy.
Get him lined up.
Yep. All right, time for three things on a Friday. Hit it.
1, 2,
3 things.
Sponsored by Scioto Downs. Your play, your perks, your Caesars Rewards spot.
All right, number one for me, fellas, we've reached the point in the year where the kids are just falling like flies. Just one brings home something from school, from practice, left and right. And so you're on high alert as a parent all over the place. Like, what is that cough? Strep? What are we doing? How are we getting the protocols? Right, all that stuff. In the midst of all of it, the 13-year-old NBC, I'm 87% sure, pulled a Ferris Bueller this morning. And we didn't, just because Beamsy's sick, and so I think he kind of tricked my wife. I'll give her credit. I just got a text from her. She ran his ass to school. He's going second half.
Bishop.
Good job, exactly. It's a good job out of you, honey. Get his ass to school.
My first one is all three of the guys who are on my Heisman ballot are in New York City for the final ceremonies. I'll leave it at that because, obviously we're not supposed to reveal how we voted. And by the way, Bo, I've never had any problem with that, although other people have. I mean,
no problem.
Golly, man. Do you have to know everything? Do you have to know the answer to everything yesterday? No, you don't.
I've never had a problem with it either, Tim. Let the Heisman announce the Heisman.
Yes.
First thing for me, I feel like Bill Belichick is probably the greatest football coach of all time. So I would never want to tell Bill Belichick what to do or how to run his football program. But when I got the news today that North Carolina is letting go offensive coordinator Freddie Kitchens and special teams coordinator Mike Prefer, maybe you should have asked us. You should have asked Bishop and Friends. We probably could have told you that wasn't going to work out well. So, Bill, if you need any help ever, not that you would, I'm just saying, give us a call. We could help you out with that.
I could have helped him on Mike Lombardi, too. Like, that was bingo. That was the bigger one.
They're going to reinvent college football. It's already been reinvented.
Jeez. Yeah, that's a much bigger one.
Like Mark Pantoni, man.
Jeez. Number two for me. So tomorrow is, and yes, tomorrow is the first of my 3 Christmases. I had the 3 Thanksgivings, so I got 3 Christmases. Round one tomorrow. prayers up that I can get through it.
There you go. Prayers up.
You got this, and you got a couple of special bottles that were released today that'll help you through it.
There you go.
Yes, I do.
By the way, I watched my 4-year-old grandson practice basketball last night. I'm telling you what, the guys that coach those teams, and Bo, you're probably one of those guys, I give it up to them, man. And they actually had some organization going on, whatever. And if he can ever get to where he can throw the ball up to the hoop, he'll be good.
Are they
Charlie,
shooting on? How high is the hoop that they have?
8 foot. But he was kind of freaking out a little bit, but he can definitely do it. He does it in his backyard all the time. But
you know what Sat Sullinger told me once with my boys, and I actually did it. He said when they're really little, never have them shoot on a hoop they can't touch.
Correct. I agree with that.
That's the best advice. So I always had my boys playing when they were really little on those hoops that went up, and they could always touch it.
Bingo. I agree with that 100%. Now, he's 4 years old. I think maybe even early for him. But the funnest part was when we got back to their house, him and his 6-year-old brother, Owen, throwing footballs to him and them diving for him in the basement.
That's awesome.
That's where you know things are moving along the way you want them to as a grandpa.
Old Satch, he could coach a little bit, huh, Bo?
Yes, he could.
Oh, yeah.
He could coach it. Yeah.
Second thing for me, I'm kind of getting my wish here. I know we talked about this yesterday when you guys did your picks for Beat the House. The New York Jets, they're running out of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So my guy, Brady Cook, is going to get the start this week against Jacksonville. I am excited to see what he can do. I feel like any quarterback that can bring teams that were kind of underachieving in football or never quite been there to relevance in college football, I think that's a thing. I think what Brady Cook did with Missouri a few years ago, getting them to that Cotton Bowl against Ohio State and playing the way he did, I'm excited to see what the undrafted rookie. That's a game that had no juice. It's got a little juice for me now.
I didn't realize that was your guy.
I love Brady Cook.
If it makes you, I don't know if this makes you feel better or worse, but I just picked up Jacksonville's defense for my fantasy playoffs.
There you go.
There you go. That's crazy. That means he's going to be great now.
With my luck in the NFL, you're probably right. Finally, for me, as Bake mentioned, our High Bank bottle picks are out. They are available at the 3 High Bank locations today. Really proud of these. Part of the proceeds go to the Ronald McDonald's house, but they're out. They're lovely. Really proud of not just the bottles, but what's inside them especially. I think you'll really like them.
I finally went to High Bank. We had brunch there before Ohio State's last home game, the night game, and for my youngest grandson's birthday, and gave him a set of golf clubs that were made by Charlie Company, and his name happens to be Charlie, so that was kind of cool. But anyway, mine goes out to Blake Horvath. Have a day, tomorrow, man. Navy quarterback. Boy, he could play a lot of places, but he's at Navy and has played his rear end off for the last couple of years. So I'm rooting for the man from Hilliard.
Yeah, you always got to root for the local kids. Always love to see that. Final thing for me, I'm going to the airport later today. I'm going to get on a plane. I know that there is weather supposed to come this week, so everybody pray that we have no travel delays today, which I think we should be good, or coming up on Tuesday, getting home. I don't want to deal. I don't want to sit in an airport for 3 days.
Bo, I was worried. Bo, I was worried. I thought he was going there like Tom Hanks, in that movie, just to hang out.
Go Navy, beat Army. Bake, enjoy your vacation. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. We're back on Monday. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.
Live at 6 a.m. on YouTube and streaming on the